Two nights, two victories, tons of smiles, excitement, and energy. Both, though, were at the home confines of historic Damaski Field, and now the Outlaws put their win streak on the line on the road. Welcome to Veterans Memorial Park here in Little Falls, New York. My name is Colby Smith, and I'll take you through all the action this evening here on Outlaws YouTube. Do apologize about our camera angle we got here for you, and I'm sure we'll probably get some comments about it as we roll throughout the night here, but did the best we could in getting things set up. Tried to avoid the screen as much as possible, but camera, of course, has to be on the tripod, and, did the best we could to see around it, give you a view of the mound, give you a view of home, and also have a little bit of first as there's Dan Payton walking through our camera. But let's talk about this Outlaw team. They now stand at 1-2 following last night's convincing 11-3 victory over the Utica Blue Sox. They did something they haven't done in quite some time, put crooked numbers on the board in 7 of their 8 trips to the dish. I went all the way back today in some old history books and some old records. They haven't done that since 2016, so it's been a hot second since that's been done. Took me almost an hour to find that this morning. Another game day fun activity. But 3 players had multi-hit outings last night. Zach Rowe, Matt Carrera, and last night's player of the game, Zach Porter. Porter went 2 for 4, had a run, couple of RBIs, and a sac bunt that resulted in a Blue Sox error. One of 4 they committed last night. It's probably the sloppiest the Utica Blue Sox have been on the field in quite some time, so Coach Doug Dillette going to have a lot of work to do with his team in that department. But once again, the Laws were lethal on the base pass last night. Jack Clark nabbing 2 more bags. Also had Connolly and Zach Rowe get one of their own. Clark the other night stole 4 bags against Auburn. He's going to get the night off today. But in talking about stealing bags, I honed in on a lot last night, but this team's a lot more lethal, a lot more willing to get down and get gritty than recent Oneonta squads, and that's a really fundamentally sound team when you can do all those things. And with that, I think that's a perfect time to talk to win streak, fundamentals, and more with head coach Keaton March. So let's head to our pregame coaches interview from today before we headed up here to Little Falls. Colby Smith back here once again with Outlaws head coach Keaton Mark. Coach, 2 nights this week, 2 victories. What's the feeling like around this team right now?
Yeah, I mean, it feels good, obviously, when you get in the W column and stay there for a little bit. I just quick messaged the team last night. We just stay consistent no matter the loss, no matter the wins. Don't get too high, don't get too low. We just want to stay in the middle and stay consistent. So if we keep doing that, we'll be okay.
Well, in terms of the biggest positives that you've seen over the course of these last 2, what do you got for me?
I'd say we're definitely swinging it better, obviously. I mean, we had a lot of strikeouts in the first 2. Cut those down a little bit. We're catching a lot more barrels. Our defense has been very consistent from the jump, so that's great to see. That hasn't changed at all. And our pitchers are definitely in the zone a lot more and figuring it out here and there.
Well, and in terms of cutting down that strikeout ratio, what do you feel like really changed at the plate?
We changed up the BP rounds a little bit, just getting the guys to swing more, getting more situational hitting in BP and stuff like that. I think that helped a little bit, as well as just talking it out. But other than that, nothing too crazy that we did.
Well, and as to how this team is bonded early on, what have you been seeing in that aspect?
Yeah, I mean, back to the whole we're young thing, I think they're all have a common goal in mind, going back to their schools, and everybody wants everybody to do well when they get their chance, and it's just kind of a common theme with us. So it's good to see.
And in terms of the teams that you've coached here in Oneonta in the summer, how do you feel like the energy from this team is kind of different than any team you've coached before?
I think it's different just in the part that they all get it. I mean, a lot of them go to big schools. A lot of them are either in the portal looking to go to a big school or just looking to find their home. A lot of these guys have that JUCO grit, but they're here. They all have a common goal. They help out with field work without asking. Sometimes they go above and beyond without asking. So it's just kind of a common thing with this team.
How do you feel like summer ball is so unique in the fact that, like you said, you got so many guys coming from so many different backgrounds all together for one goal?
Yeah, it's very unique. Unlike school ball, where you get a whole fall and winter to really build that team chemistry. Here, you're kind of throwing at the gauntlet. I mean, some guys move in later, some guys move in earlier, and then you got to piece together from there. But I think these guys do a really good job of gelling and just getting together, hanging out outside the field, whether that be at the apartments or whatever, on the golf course. I think they do a great job of it.
Well, you mentioned guys that have moved in later. Talked about it a little bit with Coach Joe yesterday, but you got those 2 High Point guys in. Just added a catcher from Lehigh as well. What are these additions doing for your confidence in this team right now?
Yeah, I mean, they can all swing it pretty well, so definitely juiced up the lineup right away. And they're also just, like I said, great dudes. They ask a lot of questions. They like to talk hitting, which we love. And unlike just asking the coaches questions, they talk to each other about hitting a lot, which is really something that a lot of young guys don't do. And the conversations they have are really good at bat to at bat and pitch to pitch and just what they see and whatnot. So it's good to see new guys coming and just be able to do that right away.
Well, in terms of their at bats, what specifically has stuck out to you about how they approach things?
Just they know what they're looking for, and they are aggressive, which is good to preach that whole no strikeout thing we're trying to work on and just get past that. They put the ball in play, which obviously, even if it's an error or whatnot, they're getting on base. I mean, a couple of them are really fast, so even when they do put the ball in play in some of these parks, it turns out to be good no matter what. And then I think they understand that just getting the job done, whether it doesn't have to be a hit every time, and just getting the job done for the team.
Well, and speaking of that, I mean, Utica having a tough time finding the strike zone last night. How big was it to take 6 walks there over the course of the first 2 innings yesterday?
Yeah, that was huge. And then the couple bunts we had, I mean, obviously you expect those to be outs. I mean, they bobbled a couple of those, threw a couple of those away, so we kept doing it, and it worked out pretty well. Got us ahead early and kind of dictated the tone of the game.
Do you feel like there was any big difference maker, despite what the stats might say last night?
I would say last night it just felt like we wanted that win a little bit more, and we just went out and got it. I mean, we preach obviously get back in the win column after being 0-2, and then the Auburn exhibition is good to get the win to get things rolling. And then we just kind of carried it over to the next day and just went out and did it for each other. I mean, outside of early on, we didn't have a lot of hits that game. But we just figured out how to get runs across with the walks, which is what you got to do a lot of times.
Now let's talk about tonight. You go to Mohawk Valley. This team's really struggled against the DiamondDawgs over the course of the last couple of years. How do you go about trying to change that?
Yeah, I mean, we're just gonna. I mean, obviously we rotate guys here and there. We're gonna put a lineup up there that we think can do it tonight. Obviously, you got that weird dimension in center field and their corners there, so we're trying to play that a little bit. And I mean, nothing really changes. Just stick to fundamentals, play baseball, and go out and get it. We want this one pretty bad.
Coach, thank you so much for your time. Good luck tonight.
Thanks, Colby.
So as always, a huge thank you to head coach Keaton Mard for taking the time to swing by the pregame show. Certainly a lot to talk about with how this team's been playing lately. And I mean, can't ask for much more than what they're doing right now. They're doing all the little things right at the plate. They're working those long ABs. I mean, most full counts the Outlaws had seen in a game since I think it was 2021, if I remember correctly, and looking back at my notes. But, man, yesterday was just everything that this team really needed to do. I mean, they needed to know that they can take the walks. They needed to know that they could score runs, even if they weren't getting the big hits. And some of those hits were falling yesterday, but you're not going to have those games all the time where you're getting, 15, 18, 20 hits. I mean, that's pretty rare in itself. A lot of times you're winning a baseball game with 9, 10, 11, 12 hits. But the Outlaws yesterday managed 10 hits, get 11 runs, and so that was huge. And Mohawk Valley going to go to their starting lineup introductions here in Little Falls. We're getting ready for first pitch and want to take the moment to cut to our player interview from today. Caught up with Outlaw, what could be a starter down the road, but right now high leverage reliever Jacob Turner from Macomb Community College, about what he's enjoyed so far about Oneonta, about his first couple outings, and strong possibility we see him in the baseball game tonight. So let's cut to our interview with Turner now, and we'll be back here momentarily from Little Falls. Colby Smith here with Outlaws pitcher Jacob Turner ahead of tonight's game with the DiamondDawgs. Jacob, this team's been red hot over the last couple of days. What's been working?
I think just playing as a team instead of individual at bats. Pitchers trying to make quick innings and hitters trying to have long ABs and just get on base.
Well, in terms of what you've seen from this pitching staff and working alongside some of these other guys, what have you really seen? What have you picked up here early on in the summer?
I think everybody's got their own routine that they like to stick to. I think having a routine's huge, so it's impressive to see everybody have their own thing that they like to do.
Well, in talking about routine, what specifically is your go-to?
I got to make sure my shoulder's ready to go, so I do a lot of PVC stretching, a lot of work with the body blade, and just a lot of just stretching overall.
And do you have any kind of game day routine that you go through before the field, or any kind of thing you do the night before you're expected to pitch?
Just trying to get to bed early, get a good night's sleep, and drink a lot of water before the game.
Well, and what went into your decision to come here to Oneonta, and what's the season been like for you so far?
I was pretty dead set as soon as I heard where it was, and I looked on the map. I saw the mountains, and the season so far for me, it's been fun. It's a different experience. My first time away from home, so I'm enjoying it so far.
And you mentioned the mountains. Tell me a little bit about your interest in that.
Yeah, I mean, it's just like, they got the scenic overlooks like Table Rock and just seeing mountains because, where I'm from, Detroit, we don't have mountains. So it's just pretty cool to see something different.
Well, when you're not here at the Maskey Field, what have been some of your favorite things you've done so far, and what have you really been up to?
We've done a lot of hiking, walking around. We walked around Hartwood College. We walked around SUNY Oneonta, just walking around the campuses, going up and down the mountains, just trying to see something cool.
Well, now let's talk about your time. I mean, in this clubhouse so far. What's it been like being a part of this outlaw team, and how would you describe the dynamic of this team?
Yeah, getting here early, just the vibes are right. There's music playing. Everybody's a good person. There's no bad people here, so everybody's just making jokes, having a good time.
Well, is there anything that you've learned from players here so far? Anything that you're really, proud to have been a part of so far?
Oh yeah, a lot of the older pitchers, juniors and seniors, they kind of have like a mindset of it is what it is. Everybody wants to be good, but if you have a bad day, it's not going to ruin your career. So that's kind of what I've been trying to pick up on is not trying to dwell on the bad days and just know that there's going to be another one sometime soon.
Well, and how hard is it as a pitcher to shake off a bad outing and kind of get yourself to that point where you're like that?
It's not easy because there are some days where it feels like if the team loses that it was all on you, or if you go in with a lead and you come out and now you guys are losing, it's not easy. But there's a lot of stuff that goes into winning a baseball game, so you kind of just got to remember that there's a lot that goes into it, and there's always next time that you can be better.
Well, and when you say there's a lot of stuff that goes into winning a baseball game, I mean, these last two nights, two very different wins. What do you feel like has really been the identity of this team, both on the mound and at the plate?
Just trying to pound the zone as far as pitchers, just trying to throw as many strikes as possible and keep guys, at first base if they get a single, not letting guys run all over the place. And then as far as hitters, just trying to get on base as much as possible, drawing the walk, taking a hit by pitch, and just trying to move up to the next base.
And for you moving forward here the rest of the summer, what are you looking to work on personally in your routine, and what are you hoping go back to school better with?
Just trying to dial in the command. That's going to be my biggest thing all summer is, when the ball leaves my hand, it's headed exactly where I want it to be.
Jacob, thank you so much for your time. Good luck tonight.
Thank you.
So there's Jacob Turner. Thank you, Jacob, for swinging by this afternoon and talking about all things Outlaws here to start the summer. This team now 1-2, as we said in the open, coming off that victory against Utica last night. Mohawk Valley on the other side. They've now won 2 in a row. Big victory on the road Monday night. Glens Falls, 3-0 shutout was the final. And then they turned around the very next night and beat a pretty good Saugerty Stallions team, 5-4 in 10 innings. Only needed one batter to get it done in 10, and so we'll talk about that later on. But again, 5-4 was your final, and the DiamondDawgs are 2-2. A year ago, Mohawk Valley finished 25-15-3, third in the Eastern Division. And it was the Outlaws who came in here to Little Falls and had their season end at the hands of MV. 12-2 in the first round of the playoffs. Mohawk Valley would go on and lose the next day down in Saugerties on a walk-off, as everything kind of comes full circle here when you have a pretty small division, just 7 teams in this Eastern Division, and the Outlaws getting the opportunity here, as we talked about on the broadcast last night, to see every squad early on. I already have seen Amsterdam, Saugerties, Utica, had that exhibition with Auburn, who they'll see again later on, get a chance to get some momentum in July. But got Mohawk Valley tonight. Tomorrow going to be Glens Falls. Then we'll see Boonville. So everybody getting out of the way early off the schedule is Kazuhara going to come to the plate here to start things off for Oneonta. Brandon Rusnek getting the start on the hill tonight for Mohawk Valley. Is Rusnek going to deal one in high for a called strike one, and we're underway here a couple minutes late. Uhara stands 5'10", 160. He's gone 2 for 7 in the 2 games, which stats count here early. Had a couple of doubles, 3 walks, 3 Ks as well. Here's the 0-1. And that comes backdoor. Slider from Rusnet, making it 0-2. Rusnet through opening night, here last Friday against the Utica Blue Sox. Left with the squad down 7-3 after 3 innings. The 0-2 bounces off the plate and the count to 1-2. Final line in that start, 3 innings pitched, 5 hits, 7 runs, 6 of them were earned. Walked 4 and struck out 3. Rusnek 1-2. Upstairs, and Uhara's worked it back to 2-2. Uhara got the off night yesterday against the Blue Sox. Jack Clark playing center field, and again, he's got the night off today. Here's the 2-2. Uhara, jet this swing, and he's going to get rung up looking. That off speeder creeps into the zone. Uhara with the backwards K, and there's one down for right fielder Dane Richards. Richards has appeared in all 3 of the games so far. 2 for 10, 3 runs scored, RBI, 3 walks, 3 Ks. As Richards, first pitch, bounder on the ground. Hurd scoops it, fields the hawk in time. So that'll be a 3-1 for out 2. Nice little charge away from first, and Rusnek, you got to be smart and agile as a pitcher to get over there and cover as well as Rusnek can. Saw it throughout his entire high school career, graduate of New Paltz, and saw a little bit of it for Herkimer this spring. This is actually his home mound. We got a Herkimer versus Herkimer starting pitcher matchup tonight. As Rusnek going to come in there with a called strike to Zach Porter's in a 3 spot in Coach Mart's order tonight. Zach Porter, mentioned it in pregame, showed our graphic, 2 for 4 last night. Won player of the game. In his first start at Damaski Field is the 0-1. Drops down and away low, count to 1-1. Overall, combined between his 2 games, he's 3 for 8 with a double which came yesterday, 2 RBIs, and he's also drawn 1 walk. Rusnek with the 1-1. And Porter, nice take, and the count to 2-1. This DiamondDawgs team once again led by Steve Luby in his 14th season at the helm here in Little Falls. Rusnek shaking off Mayer behind the plate a couple of times. Now it's 2-1. And Porter, another take, 3-1. Wasn't his pitch, so he didn't want to offer there. Zach Porter going to have Connor Wading, who's playing first behind him. Nathan Bowes plays left. Jace Kohler at short. Hugo Conors does the DHing. Jaden Kennedy in the 8 spot at third. And then Thomas Woodridge rounds out the lineup playing second base in the 9 spot. Rusnek, 3-1. Shot off foul right behind the dish. Little dribbler. So the count full here. 2 down. We got a payoff coming up. Outlaws opting to go white tops with the orange letters, orange numbers, white pants here on the road at Mohawk Valley for the first of 3 trips here this summer. Here's the pitch. Porter blasting a right is caught. Is old Schlager going to snarl that in. Only took 2 quick stutter steps in front of him, comes down with the ball, and the Outlaws retired 1-2-3 by Brendan Rusnek, and we go to the bottom of the first here on Outlaws YouTube. Your score, 0-0. Back here to Little Falls on Outlaws YouTube. Evan Staroba going to take over the mound. Let's take a look. It's Staroba here. 4 innings pitched already on the summer. 3 hits, 3 runs, 3 walks, 2 strikeouts. And so his ERA a little bit inflated at 4.50. It definitely doesn't showcase how good he's been. And he is looking for a new spot next year, sitting in the transfer portal after 2 years at Herkimer, as he misses with his first one to Calabrese for ball 1. Calabrese is led off in 3 of the first 4 DiamondDawg games, so now make it 4 of 5, as this is already their 5th game that counts for the standings, as that sails high and away, and the count to 2-0. Mohawk Valley, this is home game 4. They're 1-2 here, with the first one of their wins, of course, being that 5-4 game we mentioned against Saugerties that they took in 10. That one in the dirt, ball 3. That Porter doing a nice job keeping the ball in front of him. Let's look at the Oneonta defense. Porter's behind the plate for Staroba. On the infield, waiting first. Woodbridge is at second. Kohler's at short. Got Kennedy at third. Is Staroba 3-0. Misses high, ball 4. And he loses Calabrese to start the bottom half of the inning. And Matthew Sotera going to roll up next. Looking at the outfield as well, left to right. Nathan Bose getting his first start of the summer, not behind the dish. He's in left. Kazuhara returns to the lineup in center field. And Dane Richards taking up his also familiar right field spot here at Veterans Memorial Park tonight. Sotera is concluding his freshman year at Wagner. And Staroba coming with a strike. Work ahead in the count, 0-1. Sotera standing at 6'3", 190. This is his DiamondDawgs debut. Him and Ethan Hughes expected to share the left side of the infield quite a bit this summer. Hughes isn't in the lineup as Calabrese going to run to second. He gets the bag. A wild pitch. Moving Calabrese up 90 feet. Kind of bounced it a bit. Porter knocked it down, and would have been a hard play to nab a throw down there to second despite Woodridge's goldish glove. Staroba looking behind him, 0-2. And Sotera, some good hacking, fouls it backwards. So we'll try it again here with a 0-2 count. Again, Calabrese at second, so already a runner in scoring position. This DiamondDawgs team in recent memory has really had the Outlaws number. 0-2. Good bat pick. Porter keeping it there. 1-2. Last summer, Mohawk Valley winning 5 of the 7 in the regular season. Only other 2 were ties, both of which happened at Damaski, as the Outlaws haven't won at this part since their season opener way back in 2023. 2-2. Carrying out into the left center. Gapping Kazuhara makes the grab. Uhara bullet in the throw in quick. Gets an out. So there's 1 down. Still 1 on. And it's Joey Calabretti to walk up next. Joey Calabretti, another returning member of this DiamondDawgs team. Pretty good here last year. From Seton Hall, so we've got a lot of teammates scattered around the PGCBL this summer. A lot of Seton Hall players playing summer ball here in the PGC. As this one fouled straight back by Calabretti, and the count to 0-1. There's actually 4 Seton Hall players on the Saugerties Stallion squad that this Outlaw team saw Sunday, 3 of which played in that ball game Sunday. Calabretti stands 6'2", 190 as he lays off. Nice take there. Even it back. Ball on a strike. He's from Percy, Pennsylvania. And this spring at Seton Hall, hit just 189, 22 games, making 17 starts. Not too much pop to the bat. 2 doubles, 1 homer, accounting for his only extra base hits. Staroba checks behind him, 1-1. And that's going to go on over towards the Diamond Dog dugout as the count to 1-2. Calabretti also, if you want to talk about a different league he spent time in the SFCL, Boca Raton 2 summers ago. That summer he was really good, showed some flashes of brilliance, 8 homers, more than he'd ever hit in a high school season either. His average, though, just at 235 that summer as the 1-2 bounced off the plate. He's having a hard time finding the zone here on his breaking stuff. To 2-2 it goes. Run through the full Diamond Dog order here in just a moment. There's Mohawk Valley opting to do what many coaches, it seems like, doing here in the early part of the schedule, batting just 9. No extra hitter in effect. 2-2. And that misses down and away. Count goes full here. So second 3-ball count already for Staroba. Justin Hurd playing second base hits 4th. Brendan Hotz at first. Edwin Sanchez in left field. Ian Oshliger, the right fielder, hits 7th. Caden Hurt, the DH, hits 8th. And rounding out the lineup in the 9-hole, Matt Mayer doing the catching for Coach Steve Luby tonight. Good plate defense as Calabretti tipped it backwards. So he's 6 pitches deep in a full count. Calabretti rocking that full red batting helmet, the Seton Hall logo on the front. Outlaws got Kohler about halfway between second and 30 on the left side of the infield. Woodbridge holding on John Calabrese. So if you missed it, took a leadoff walk, advanced on the wild pitch. That one missed its spot, and that's the second walk already here, tossed up by Staroba. And it'll be first and second with 1 out. Going to get an early mound visit from Zach Porter to go talk to Staroba. Staroba down Sunday in Saugerties. He was working with Porter behind the plate as well, so these two going to know what to expect from each other, know what's going to be called when, know what the arsenal entails, and just a matter sometimes when you're not hitting your spots, just talk about it, try to figure out what's working, and that's probably what was being talked about there. But it'll be Justin Hurd, SUNY Albany second baseman, to roll up into the box next. It's a righty swinger, so a righty on righty matchup. And we already talked about it in the top of the first, but an all Herkimer starting pitching matchup tonight here in 8CCC's home ballpark as the count to 0-1. Staroba working with Mohawk Valley starter Brendan Rusnick this year on the staff, and Rusnick having a breakout freshman season. Won 7 games, 10 appearances. Is the 0-1. And Porter, good pick again as it's to 1-1. Justin Hurd in the box stands at 5'10", 180 from Warwick, New York. As Staroba again looking backwards, 1-1. Elevator shot pitch, 2-1. So it seems like his fastball has kind of been a little bit all over the place here these last couple. Hurd is trying to get himself back in a rhythm after only having played 8 games, starting 7 for the Terriers this spring. Another miss, and the count to 3-1. 7 for 25 was Hurd's stat line. 5 runs scored, had a homer, 3 RBIs, walked 4 times, and he struck out 7 times. Staroba 3-1, and that's going to sail to the backstop. Went off Porter's glove all the way to the screen, and so Evans walked the bases loaded. It's going to be Brendan Hawk in a very dangerous spot. Certainly don't want to fall behind big to this Diamond Dawgs squad early on. Mohawk Valley last year in their home games scored first all but 5 times. And they were 12 games above 500 here at Veterans Memorial Park last summer. That one just above the plate, and the count to 1-0 here on Hawk. Hawk coming off an 0 for 4 with 1 run, 1 strikeout game against the Glens Falls Dragons the other night up at Eastfield. 1-0. Tapper left side finds the hole. Kohler flipping it to second. The turn back to first. Not in time. So they at least get 1. This will be a 6-4 to force out Justin Hurd. Run does score as Calabrese crosses the plate. Going to give the DiamondDawgs a 1-0 lead. It'll be a fielder's choice RBI for Brandon Hawk, with Calabretti getting a third. So it'll be first and third with 2 away, a run home. Still no hits against Taroba here in this bottom half of inning 1. Edwin Sanchez, the left fielder, now going to swing it. And Sanchez, fly ball on the right side over into the corner. Richards has it, and that's going to end the inning. Dane Richards with a can of corn out in right field, but not before the DiamondDawgs pot 1. We go to the second here in Little Falls. Mohawk Valley has a 1-0 lead. Top of the second, back here on Laws YouTube. 4-5-6 going to bat for Oneonta, led off by first baseman Connor Wading. Wading standing at 6-0, 225. Still looking for his first official hit of the summer, as he takes a called strike to fall behind 0-1. Has 2 runs, an RBI, a couple of hit by pitches, and 4 strikeouts. 0-1. Waiting, bombing one. Out in the shallow center, caught. Calabrese gonna have it for a quick out. So we'll go to Nathan Bowes, the left fielder. Bowes hasn't seen one come his way just yet in the outfield, but he has been everything this team could have asked for and more starts the season. Bowes making his second official start, also played in that exhibition against Auburn the other night. Had 2 hits, stole a bag in that. As Bowes, some good plate defense. It will smack it off foul. Wasn't his pitch, just got behind it a little bit. Rusnak down 0-1, trying to pop something in the zone. And Bowes swings right through it. So he'll trail 0-2. Nathan Bowes from Toland, Connecticut, business major at Sacred Heart. Some massive hits, some massive starts in his freshman season. And again, he's making a huge impact here to start the summer already as he checks his swing. And they're going to say he came around. They check to the field umpire. Bowes is going to be rung up. It's 2 Ks on the counter for Rusnak. And it'll be Jace Kohler to now settle in. Kohler making his 3rd straight start. His stats yesterday against Utica, 1 for 4, had a walk, a strikeout, a couple of stolen bases. That one sails high and away. So Kohler going to work ahead 1 out. Kohler hit just south 300 high point this spring. Playing as a true freshman. Is Rusnak 1 out. And that comes backdoor for a called strike. Goes even, 1-1. Mohawk Valley will run through their full defense here in just a moment. The 1-1. Again, bounced off the plate, 2-1. Mayer behind the plate, Calabretti's at 3rd, Sotera at short. They got Hurd at 2nd with Hawk playing 1st here on the infield. Sanchez, Calabrese, Olslager left to right in the outfield. Two 1. And Kohler, another nice take on the drop ball, 3-1. So it seems like Outlaw dugout getting an early warning here from our home plate umpire. So he's not loving what he's hearing early on. It'll happen. 3-1. Kohler finds one straight up the middle. Drops in shallow center for a base knock. First hit of the ball game. And the Outlaws going to try for a little 2-out rally. So Jace Kohler continuing to stay red hot, 3-game on base streak. And Hugo Conors now going to look for his first hit of the summer. Conors finished 0 for 4 with 2 strikeouts at Amsterdam opening night last Thursday. Takes one up and away, and he works ahead 1-0. Conors very familiar with playing in this ballpark as well. Played at Herkimer this spring before recently committing to Westchester. And he hit the cover off the ball for the Generals this spring as well. 400 was his average. 10 lawn balls, 53 ribbies. Also scored 47 runs, stole 7 bags in just 40 games total played. Checklet to first. Kohler gets back in there. Rusnak keeping a close eye on the base runner at first. Kohler's on the run. 1-1. Gun throw, Mayer down in there. Kohler's got the bag. Jace Kohler getting second. Runs himself to scoring position. And Conors getting at 2-1. Kohler going to take a massive lead off second. Outlaws trying to find a way to tie this game up after the DiamondDawgs strike first blood in the bottom half, inning 1. Conors puts a weak ground ball right side of the mound. Rusnak charge, fielded on over in time. Getting it to Hawk, who looked like wasn't too comfortable in receiving it. But 1-3 is going to be your out. Jace Kohler gets stranded at second after his base hit. Bottom of the second coming up next. The Dawgs, a 1-0 lead here in Little Falls. Bottom of the second, back here on Outlaw YouTube. 7-8-9 going to bat for the Mohawk Valley DiamondDawgs. Ian Alschlager from RPI going to lead things off. Alschlager's had a pretty solid start to the summer, both defensively and at the dish. And he takes one for ball one from Staroba, who again trying to settle into a groove, struggling with his command a little bit early. Alschlager's 3 for his first 12. Each of his hits have been singles as the count to 1-1. Also has scored 2 runs, walked 4 times, struck out twice. So a pretty complete stat line for the engineer. And now he takes, called strike 2. Move our count to 1-2. Staroba's topped out as high as the low 90s recently. His fastest speed pitch down at Saugerties was a 94-mile-an-hour fastball in the second inning. Two-two, just getting started here, bottom second. 1-0 Mohawk Valley out of your scores. That one fouled straight back. DiamondDawgs getting one in the bottom of the first on an RBI. Fielder's choice play. Brandon Hawk putting one in play. This one grounded right side of the infield, waiting on the 1-up, knocked it down off his jersey, but can't recover it. So Alschlager going to get on base. They will charge that immediately as an Oneonta error. And so Waiting takes his first of the summer in the field. Going to go to Caden Hart, the designated hitter. That one going to miss high and in, ball one. Staroba, 1-0. Daisy cutter right side, Kohler turning it to second. The throw from Woodridge gets away from Waiting, so they only get the one. It'll be a 6-4 to force out Alschlager. And it'll once again be a fielder's choice with Caden Hart over there at the first base bag with 1 out. Matt Mayer Gonna come on up to the bots. Matt Mayer, he's another one who's been pretty good at the dish to start the summer. Did have a tough game Monday night at Glens Falls, finishing 0 for 3, but he rebounded, getting on base twice in the Dawgs' last game here against the Stallions. They only have 2 catchers in town at the moment, so they've been trying to rotate as much as they can. But Mayer's certainly an electric bat stop who could swing it well at the dish as well. Mayer yo-yos one off foul, so he stays alive. He does attend SUNY Brockport. Stands at 6-0, 195. And there, Staroba was trying to catch the lower outer quadrant, but can't put it in there. So 2-1's your count. Mayer this spring, 22 games, 18 starts, hit .288. Couple of doubles, 4 homers, 15 ribbies as a snap throw. And Porter almost had Caden Hart as a sitting duck. Caden Hart was pretty far off that first base bag. There's the 2-2. Comes in high, ball 3. So it's run full here with 1 away. Payoff, misses high, ball 4. So Staroba, 4 watts already in the outing. Dawgs got runners at first and second with 1 down. And it'll be John Calabrese who rolls up as we go back to the top of the lineup. Calabrese certainly has baseball in his blood. His uncle Frank, 7 years in the majors, split between the Blue Jays and Athletics. And then he spent 8 years as a hitting coach working in the White Sox Marlins organization. Has a cousin as well named Robert, shares the same last name of Calabrese, who was picked 10th overall by San Francisco in 2017. Bounced around the minors for 5 years before he retired. As this one smoked off foul, going to leave the ballpark. So to 0-2 goes your count. Staroba attacking with that fastball, 2 straight pitches. Short lead for both base runners. Looks like Caden Hart wants to run, though. Is this one in the air? Left side, shallow left. It's caught by Kohler over the shoulder. Jace Kohler continuing to showcase his golden glove. And now Matthew Cetera with 2 down, 2 on. Gonna settle in. Cetera flew out to center field back in the first inning. And his first DiamondDawgs AB. Staroba keeping an eye on both base runners as that one comes in there for a called strike. Nice pop of the glove by Zach Porter. Outlaws and DiamondDawgs playing 8 total times here in 2025. 3 of which are up here in Little Falls. Other 5 are going to be down in historic Damascus. That one, backdoor for a called strike, and it's 0-2. Not going to be long before these 2 squads see each other again. It's Tuesday night. Mohawk Valley will be down in Oneonta following the Outlaws' 2 off days, Sunday, Monday. 0-2 away. And it'll go to 1-2. Soroba looking for a put-down pitch to end the inning. Missed his target. And so to 2-2 it'll go. Soroba's allowed just one hit so far on the night. A speed swing and a miss ends the inning. Goes fastball right through the middle of the zone. Satira can't put it on a tee, and so Mohawk Valley going to leave two on base. One hit here in the bottom of the second. And to the third we go here in Little Falls. 1-0. The Outlaws still trailing. Top of inning 3, back here in Little Falls. Outlaws trailing 1-0 to Mohawk Valley in the first of 8 meetings. Jaden Kennedy in the box, and he's going to foul the first one, bat behind the plate. So it'll be an 0-1 count. Kennedy's sitting at 0-3 with a run, walk, and 3 strikeouts, as that was his stat line last Thursday at Amsterdam. Outlaws playing just their 4th game that counts for the standings tonight, as they're at 1-2 as Kennedy swings right through one, and he'll be down 0-2. Oneonta going to be back in action tomorrow and Saturday, despite what the forecast looks like for tomorrow. We'll hope that things clear up. Strong chance of rain all day. It's supposed to be a free night at Damaski Field. NBT Bank Night sponsoring Family Fun Night, as the Glens Falls Dragons will be in town. First of 7 meetings against the guys from East Field tomorrow. And then Boonville Lumberjats coming to Damaski on Saturday for a 7 o'clock start. Is this one going to sail high and away? And the 1-2 it goes. Saturday will be baseball and education night, as the park bought out by Oneonta City Schools PTO. Here's the 1-2 from Rusnak. Kennedy, a good take. 2-2. Behind Kennedy will be Thomas Woodridge, and then we'll go back to the top of the lineup for Kenjuhara. 2-2. Kennedy, tower and fly ball right side. Back, we got second short, and in though, making the snag is Olschlager. And there's one away. Certainly easy to lose a ball here in the air, Little Falls. The netting and the lights playing quite a big of a factor. Pretty solid crowd here on a Thursday night. Mohawk Valley is, their better crowds always seem to start coming after school year comes to a close. Is that one going to sail high? And Woodridge ahead 1-0. Their attendance against Saugerties the other night was 155. Probably going to beat that by a little bit here tonight. This was a sponsored night for them as well. Valley Cinema is sponsoring this game. This is the 1-0. Fouled straight back. Gonna took an angle in the air with some bat spin. 1-1. Woodridge went 1 for 4 with a strikeout Sunday down at Saugerties. Trying to get himself into a little bit of a rhythm here moving forward. Is that one in the dirt? Ball 2. Bases are empty with 1 away here, top third. Again, the Outlaws are trailing 1-0. Just 1 base runner and 1 hit so far was Jace Kohler back in the second. He got left on. Two 1, swung right through. Woodridge went fastball hunting. So we'll try it again. It's Rusnet trying to end the AB. He's already struck out 2. Rusnick deals. And there's another one upstairs. Count running full here on Woodridge after he was down. Rusnick in just his second 3-ball count of the outing thus far. Here's his payoff. Low for ball 4. Is Woodridge going to get on base? And that's what you need, some turnover at the bottom of your lineup to get guys on before you go to the top. And here's Kazuhara with a chance to get things moving. Try to get the Laws, I don't want to say back into this thing, but in a better position. Uhara struck out looking to start the game. He checked his swing, and he did offer, so it'll be strike 1. Uhara, a guy who's taken over this leadoff spot and kind of run with it when he's in the lineup, is his 0-1. Out in the left, in the corner, Sanchez going to run out of room. It dropped into the Outlaw bullpen area down there, down the line. Oneonta's got the third base dugout here in Little Falls. Their bullpen's in left field. Mohawk Valley, first base dugout, and their bullpen in right field. Again, Rusnak glancing over to first. Nods with his 0-2. Uhara. A nice take there to move it to 1-2. Uhara from Tokyo, Japan. Now spends most of his time down south. Does still visit Japan a couple times a year, though, winter and spring breaks. 1-2. Big swing. And Uhara can't bomb it, so he's down for the second out of the half inning. Rusnet's got 3 Ks. And it'll be Dane Richards who now comes up. Richards, our player of the game Sunday down at Saugerties. 2 hits, both singles. And he's starting to show plenty of good flashes of pop with his bat. He grounded out 3-1. First pitch he saw in the first as he fouls one up behind home, so it's a 0-1 count. Again, a short lead off first for Woodridge. Running Woodridge in the second, not in time. As Hurd slaps the tag on, Seemed like Woodridge got a good jump, but it wasn't enough, so that'll be a 2-4 caught stealing to end the half inning. Richards will be back at the plate when Oneonta returns to the plate, top of the fourth. But first, we go to the DiamondDawgs, bottom of the third, coming up next. Back to Little Falls here on Outlaws YouTube. Bottom of the third inning, and Oneonta trailing 1-0 as it'll be 3-4-5 to bat in the lineup, and Calabretti putting one on the ground, waiting underhanded to Starobo, covers the bag in time for the out. He went to his off speed, down and away in the zone, and Calabretti just drove it right into the dirt, so Starobo getting a good turn off the mound to get over there, seeing that waiting, fielded it cleanly. Again, he did have an error in that second inning. And I know Connor pretty well now. He's definitely going to want that play back. But regardless, it's a 0-1 count on Hurd. Hurd walked and was forced out. 6-4 on a ground ball by Brandon Hawk. Starobo working ahead 0-2 here. Lights already on here at Veterans Memorial Park in Little Falls. It's a cloud coverage. Not fully dark yet as it goes 1-2. DiamondDawgs in the midst of a pretty busy stretch on their end. We'll talk about their upcoming schedule as Staroba getting a K. Went to his fastball. The lower outer quadrant of the zone to get the swing and a miss. And it's Brandon Hawk to roll up next. Hawk, a fielder's choice RBI back in the first inning. And that's a called strike. Staroba all of a sudden trying to get himself into a rhythm. From Kingsport, New York. He stands at 6'1", 220 out there. He's from St. Thomas Aquinas as well. Supposed to have a couple of STAC guys on our squad this year. As that one finding a hole straight up the middle. Was right between Woodbridge and Kohler. Split the gap. So Hawk getting a 2-out single. Keeps the half inning going. Wasn't a bad pitch at all. It was just Hawk really barreling that one up and pulling it down. Soroba forcing ground balls here early on. But now it's Sanchez, flew out to right. His first time up in the first, end of the half inning. About a quarter lead towards second for Hawk right now. Is a good pick by Porter, making it a 2-0 count. Behind Sanchez would be Ian Alslager. Come next is this one. Again to the ground. Diving Woodbridge comes up, puts it into the glove of Waiting. What a play for the Wofford second baseman. Woodridge lunging left, comes up with that ball on the slide, depositing it into the bank. And that sends us to the fourth here in Little Falls. 1-0 Mohawk Valley, still in control. Top of the fourth here on Outlaws YouTube. Want to remind you, if you haven't already, make sure you subscribe to our channel today. All games home and away, except at Amsterdam and Utica, streamed right here for you. Those two squads doing pay-per-view feeds this year. So Amsterdam charging $9.99 per game, and then Utica, of course, their $200 season pass. So Oneonta 4 trips to Amsterdam, 5 to Utica, and still got plenty of trips up there to come. But a lot of action going to be found right here, so make sure you drop a subscribe. There's a take. Dane Richards seeing the off-speed well, 1-0. He was up at the plate when Woodbridge got thrown out, 2-4, caught stealing to end the top of the third. Is the 1-0 on the ground, left side pass to diving Calabretti on the throw. Satira pulled Hawk off the bag, but what a play by the Mohawk Valley shortstop. Satira, some good backup on the ball that was just kind of down there in the dirt, took a weird skip up and got a throw off on a weird, awkward kind of jumping angle. But again, Hawk comes off the bag. Richards over there on first, and now Zach Porter with one on, nobody away. First leadoff base runner Oneonta's had in a half inning tonight. And that one gonna drill Porter. Clips him on the arm guard. And that'll immediately put 2 on the base pass.
Now betting for Oneonta, the first baseman.
And Rusnet's in some trouble.
Connor Waiting.
First true adversity he's seen here early on is Mayer's going to come out and talk to him, try to settle him down. Connor Waiting did fly out to center field his first time up. Now he'll be looking to put a ball in play in any way, even if it's a sack, advance the runners. Want to find a way to plate something here. Oneonta mentioned it in pregame yesterday, scoring 7 of the 8 trips to the plate. First time that had been done since 2016 by an Outlaw squad. Rusnick is waiting, putting the bunt down the line, takes a bounce, scoop to the bag. Is Huck getting the job done on that. But waiting, that's a pretty good bunt. Gets it done. Richards getting a third, Porter to second, so good sack. And now Nathan Bowe's going to come up with his red-hot stick, hoping to knock in a couple. Bowe said his primal goal at the plate tonight, and talking to him a little bit during BP, was to put a high fly ball out in the center field and hope that it would find its way out of here. A little bit shallow here at center. Little falls, weird dimensions. Keaton Mart talked about that in our pregame interview as well today. Sometimes you get a good rip on the center, get out of here a lot easier than it would just about every other park in this league. Rusnick down 1-0 on the count here, one away. Deals. And Bose taking an off speeder to even it at 1-1. Bose, a Sacred Heart product. And a handful of starts as a freshman. 1-1. Turns on it towards right. Put it foul. No call from our field umpire initially, and so Richards thought just maybe it had somehow stayed fair, started to run, but he's sent back. Again, it's 2 in scoring position. Chance to tie or take a lead here, top 4, against what looks to be a tiring Brandon Rusnick. One, two, and Bose almost got hit with that. Drifted plenty high. As the command's kind of all over the place on the fastball here at the moment. Rusnick 2-2. Bose, high fly ball out in the left center. Charging back there, Sanchez Calabrese. And that one's going to fall and roll to the wall. Woodbridge rounded behind Richards. Bose pumps the brakes at second. And he has a double, and the Laws taking a 2-1 lead here in the 4th.
Now batting is the shortstop, number 28 from High Point University, Jace Kohler.
Nathan Bose comes up with a big one-out knock. Scores Richards in from third, Porter from second. And Jace Kohler now going to come up and swing the bat. He singled, stole second, back in the second. Rusnick's keeping a close eye, both base runners, as that one comes in there called strike. Bose is hanging pretty close to second. He's been a threat to steal early on. A stolen base opening net at Amsterdam also had one in the exhibition against Auburn the other night. As a bounding ball left side finds a hole. Bose is being waved around by Coach Mohawk. He'll score. Slides in head first. Throw was on target but late. And that's a 3-1 lead here now in the 4th. Jace Kohler, another RBI.
Now batting the designated hitter, number 18 from Westchester University, Hugo Kornhorst.
Jace Kohler doing what he does best.
To the concession stand. If you guys are missing a credit card, go down to the concession stand.
He always seems to find holes, putting balls in play, and there was plenty of space on the left side with Satera over more towards second and Calabretti almost behind third. So Hugo Kornhorst grounded out 1-3 in the second, and now he's going to drop behind 0-1 in the count. Rusnick went fastball in the zone. Kohler looking like he wants to go. Is this one? Dropped it shallow left center. Kohler's being waved around second, coming to third. He'll stop there in the second. Conors beats the throw. He lays out a double. And the Outlaws are cooking here in the fourth.
Now batting for the Outlaws, the third baseman, number 11 from Hudson Valley Community.
Conors. It's the double heard around Little Falls. Kohler to third. So now Jaden Kennedy should be huge to get his first hit. We're on the Outlaw threads here. Kennedy flew out to right field in the third. Is Rusnek. Bombs went low for ball one. Mohawk Valley does have an arm starting to get hot down in their bullpen in right. Kennedy. Bad skip towards third. They check Kohler as a throw across diamond into the glove. So 5-3, Kennedy nabbed out.
Now batting for the Outlaws, the
Kohler
second baseman, number 14.
didn't want to get caught in a rundown, so good heads-up base running over here at the corner. Looks like we will have a pitching change in the next half inning. Jacob Turner walking back to the dugout here. So I guess Staroba is just going to be done after 3 here, and we'll get into that stat line. When Turner comes on, we'll introduce Jacob as well. Said it pregame, but he'd probably get a chance to appear in the game tonight, and you're going to see him pretty early, and he'll have a lead to work with as well. Turner, this action this summer, first time he's been seeing collegiate hitters after redshirting this spring, not able to play at makeup. 0-1. Swung right through Woodridge and the count to 0-2. Woodridge trying to get on base for a second time tonight. Got to think as well if Rusnak can get out of this with just the 3 runs up there. He'll probably be done after this inning as well, going just 4 to start for MV. Dogs in those black threads with the green letters, green numbers, white outline tonight. Their away jerseys we'll see Tuesday down at Oneonta. They're green tops, with a little black and white to them. Oh-2. Woodridge, left side, into the gap. Sanchez, Calabrese over there. And Sanchez able to come down with it. So into the left center gap it goes, but Woodridge can't drop it in for a hit. Outlaws going to pot 3 on 4 hits here in the top of the fourth. They leave 2 on. At the bottom of the fourth we go. First lead of the night for Oneonta. 3-1's your score. Bottom of the fourth inning here in Little Falls. Jacob Turner, as we talked about in the top half, takes over the pitching duties on the hill. Ian Oslager going to greet him with a hard hit ball out in the left center, drops in. Kazuhara unable to get there in time, so Oslager going to greet the makeup product with a single. Let's talk about Turner's numbers. He's made 2 appearances so far, inning and 2/3. Hit a run and earned run. He's walked 5 and struck out 2. So command has been a little bit of an issue, and he's trying to change that with one outing here tonight. Is Caden Hart, now 1-0, heading the count. Final line on Staroba ends up being 3 innings, 1 run, 1 earned run. Gives up 1 hit, strikes out 2. Watch 4, hits none, and finishes with 1 wild pitch. So Hart gets hit. And again, it's first and second here now. And Matt Mayer going to come to the plate in a big spot, hoping to get the Dogs some runs back after Oneonta plating 3 there in the top half of inning 4. Bunt laid down as Turner charges. Fields on over into the glove. Is waiting. Good little stretch out over there. Hauls it in. Mayer, that's another good sack bunt we've seen. First one by Mohawk Valley tonight, but moves both base runners up 90 feet. They get Olslager to third, Caden Hart to second, and back to the top of the lineup we go, John Calabrese. Calabrese scored a run in the first, popped to short his last time up. Is that one going to be a bit high, and it's ball 1. Good little move there by the DiamondDawgs to move up the base runners. Trading scoring position for the 1 out. Is Turner 1-0, swings right through. Calabrese, and he even counted a ball and a strike. Turner 1-1. Hammer the other way towards right field, foul. Went up the line and almost hit one of the videographers from Mohawk Valley positioned in here. DiamondDawgs, 3 camera angles. They got 1 on each of the baselines. They got 1 up top. Oh, they've been working on their technology up here in Little Falls. Is this one left side, charging back, gets caught by Kohler. He turns, has the ball. Olslager would have been hammered out if he had tried to go home. Jace Kohler, heck of a snag again. Hung in the air for quite a bit, but came down with it, and that's all that matters. Certainly hold your breath a little bit on a ball that carries. But now it's Matt Cetera. He's 0 for 2. Fly out to center in the first, struck out swinging in the second. Cetera hitting .307 for Wagner this year, 42 games. He was 3rd on their squad in extra base hits, 15 doubles, 2 triples, 2 home runs. Turner the 1-0. Bounced off Porter, 2-0. So Turner will keep at it and trying to locate his best stuff here. Oneonta's been putting together a pretty solid baseball game. Once again, making the plays in the field and doing the fundamental things right at the plate like Coach Mark talked about today. Another big swing. Cetera making it a 2-1 count. Coach Keaton certainly knows how to describe everything in a way that made sense here in the game. Such an easy coach, easy guy to play for. Easy guy to work with as well on my end. Is that one in there called strike 2? Always made sure I got what I need. Always made sure I'm in the best position to be successful here for all you. So never thank Coach Keaton enough for all he does. 2-2. Misses low. Just barely down and away. So counts run full. Satera waits. And that one caught off the end of the bat. So he'll stay alive. 6 pitches deep now. Second straight payoff. Turner bombs it in there high. And so he loses Satera for his first walk of the inning. It does load the bases for the DiamondDawgs. And so Joey Calabretti going to come up with a lot of pressure on his shoulders. Calabretti walked in the first, was left at third. DiamondDawgs have left 5 on through the first 3. Also grounded out 3-1 to begin the third. Calabretti going to take a high one for ball 1. Infield's looking like they're looking for something in the air. Turner's elevated stuff in the zone. Outfield's positioned way back here, knowing Calabretti's got a lot of pop in that bat. And this will get away. As it clips Calabretti. Caught him on the left shoulder. Man, I don't know. It seemed like he leaned into it a little bit. No call coming, though, that says any different. So run does count. 3-2's your score. Ian Alschlager trotting in from third, and so bases are still going to be full with 2 down. Justin Hurd walked in the first inning, struck out swinging in the third. And this one going to come inside the zone for strike 1. Turner's been attacking early, trying to get ahead. And now here's the 0-1. Low once more, 1-1. So at third is Hart, second Satera, Calabretti's at first. Here for the Mohawk Valley DiamondDawgs. This one swung right through. Is Justin Hurd with a nice little free swing to the outer side of the plate. Coming up next inning, we will take a look at this evening's out-of-town scoreboard here in the PGCBL so far. A lot of good, tight games going on. There's the 1-2. Elevator shot on the infield. Porter losing a mask as he just barely going to run out of room back there. Porter got back there quick looking for it, but no lunging stuff, so no problem. Turner 1-2. Misses a spot, 2-2. So we keep on rolling here. Turner waits and fires. Low, ball 3. Just barely unable to find the lower outside edge. Tough schedule for Mohawk Valley coming up. 4 of their next 5 are on the road. Starting tomorrow at Amsterdam. Payoff. Straight back. So Hurd has seen 7 now, and he's working Turner for pretty long at bat. Ian Wirtz, the newly added catcher to the roster, coming from Lehigh University, jogging back down to the bullpen. So got to think another arm going to start to get up and throwing here soon for Oneonta. That's called strike 3. Turner ends the half inning, and he'll walk off feeling pretty dang good. Gives up just 1 despite some struggles with command. 1 hit, walks 2, a couple of hit by pitches as well. To the 5th we go here on Outlaws YouTube. Mohawk Valley, they've left 8 on, and they trail 3-2. Top of inning number 5 here on Oneonta YouTube. Colby Smith, and I got a special guest alongside me here now, Jack Clark. How you doing tonight?
I'm good. How are you?
Doing great. Nice to see Outlaws winning score on the board right now.
Yeah, it's a good game here. Got 3-2. The bats came alive for the last few innings. It's been good.
So it'll be top of the lineup is Kazuhara. Going to start things off here. We got a new arm to talk about for Mohawk Valley in a second, and Uhara going to work ahead 1-0. Jack, you've only been around for a couple of days here now. What's it like thus far being a part of the Outlaws?
It's been awesome. I've been able to play in some quality games. Got 2 big wins the last 2 games I've been in. Got to meet a good group of guys who, some guys from up here. I'm from Florida, so some new faces, some new guys. Get to hang out with some guys and have a good summer up here. It's been good.
2-0 the count here quickly. Kazuhara. Luke Jacobson stands 6-0, 195 from Villanova.
Good eye.
And Uhara head 3-0. And when you're sitting off on the sidelines watching a game like this, what are you really looking for? And are there any specific things that you just kind of think about watching a game?
Honestly, I just kind of enjoy watching it because it's a different view from the sidelines rather than in the game. You can kind of get sped up in game and think too much. But on the side, I just get to, enjoy the game, see it, take in little things, maybe some cues at the plate, pick up some what other guys do, and myself maybe think about a plan that I could use in certain situations. But honestly, just enjoy hanging out with the guys, just enjoying the nights I have off when I get the chance to.
So Uhara's at first after a leadoff walk. Is now Dane Richards going to settle in here. Richards showed and squared bunt, put it back foul. In terms of things you've learned so far, is there anything that you've really picked up on that's kind of helped you?
Honestly, just kind of being able to individualize the game yourself, and in college you got a lot of coaching behind you, but in this, coach kind of just lets you, do what you need to work on and work on specific things to help you develop as a player more. So obviously, play the team game, do what you can do to help the team win, but kind of just locking on certain things I need to work on to get me better has been the biggest thing.
So Uhara going to nab second here with a stolen bag in a scoring position and a 1-1 count now on Dane Richards. You mentioned the coach kind of relaxed approach here in Oneonta. What's it like so far playing for Coach Keaton and Coach Joe? First impressions.
That's awesome. He's really welcoming. Before we were here, he kept on texting me and Jace just to let him know when we got up here, because it's a far hike for us. So he's pretty supportive in that process, letting us come here a few days late just because our season ran a little longer than some other guys. But he's making sure the body feels right, not overworking us just because it's a long summer. But overall, he's been really good and supportive and just understanding of what's in store for us.
1 ball, 2 strikes.
Ah.
And Richards going to get frozen on a high off speeder. So he's down with 1 away. And Jack, you mentioned your season at High Point. You were a freshman. Tell me about what it was like to transition to college baseball.
I played at a pretty high level high school program, so I kind of had the feel of bigger games, higher leverage players. But college is a whole different ball game. Everyone's a dude. Everyone can hit. Everyone can play. So just kind of feeling confident, feeling comfortable in situations, being able to do the little things correct, capitalize when people mess up, and honestly just looking after older guys, getting to know some guys. Some of the other outfielders on the team were some big time players for us this year, so just kind of getting to watch after them and their day-to-day lives and just see how they handle the game and their approach on and off the field was honestly one of the bigger things, rather than just playing but learning.
0-1 here on Zach Porter. Again, Uhara's in scoring position with 1 away, top 5.
Oh boy.
This one off the glove. Mayer rolls to the backstop. Uhara takes a big turnaround third, but he'll stop here. Score that is a wild pitch, Luke Jacobson. So now an insurance run 90 feet away. And, man, Jack, what have you been seeing here in this new arm on the hill for Mohawk first couple pitches?
A little wild. Seems like he's not really commanding the fastball very well, but definitely has in the tank. His velo is not bad. We'll see what Porter can do here in this 1-1 count.
Jacobson fires.
Ooh.
Drills Porter on the
That's
49 on the back of the jersey.
That's his second one today.
You going to get him an ice pack after the game?
Yeah, I will.
So it'll be runners at the corners here with 1 out. Connor Waiting will come up next.
After a big night for him last night, it's not what you want to come to the plate the next day. You're looking for more fastballs. To get hit twice it's not ideal.
Well, and you talked about coming from a bigger school. I mean, here in Oneonta, a lot of summer programs. It kind of varies, a lot of Division I, a lot of Division II. And you guys are fortunate enough as this one hits Waiting on the elbow. He'll fire the bat away. Command definitely. Wild was certainly the word for it. He'll get on base.
Yeah, he'll get an ice pack too.
Gonna need a lot of ice packs tonight, it seems like. But yeah, now the bases are gonna be loaded, and getting back to what I was saying, I mean, you come here to Oneonta, a lot of Division I guys on this roster. What's it like just being around those guys and knowing that some of these guys you might see, in your season later down the road?
No, yeah, it's awesome. It's cool to be able to talk to guys whose offenses teach them different approaches, different ways to handle themselves. I know some of the guys have asked Jason and I how we walk into an at-bat, what we think, what we do pregame that way. So it's kind of cool to talk to guys who are at the same level as I and just discuss just simple things in baseball and kind of relate on the season, how it's a grind, how it's fun, all that good stuff. And I was talking to Nate, who's at the bat, up to play right now, and he was telling me how he's glad that he's done being a freshman because all the freshman duties, cleaning the bus, making sure everyone's stuff's together, packing the bus. It's a grind no matter what, but it's been fun.
Bose is 1 for 2 tonight. He had a big RBI double in the 4th inning, out in the left center, rolled all the way to the wall. First one to him. Going to be tight to the knees for ball 1. Talk about those freshman duties. What kind of duties you have at High Point this year?
I mean, my duty for the field was home run balls, and we have a creek behind the left field wall, so the balls would kind of get stuck in the creek, so we'd have to get in the water, take our shoes off, throw rocks at the balls to get them on the side of the bank. So that was the first thing. And then obviously just typical freshman duties. Like I said, clean the bus when it needs to be clean. We were on laundry throughout the Maymester when our team managers left. We had to do laundry. In the fall, a lot of stuff like that. Kind of hard to remember because it's such a long season, but it's all worth it. Everyone serves their time, so you got to enjoy it while you have it, because next thing you know, you're a senior and
Moving
you're
on.
stare at that young guy again. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Ultimate goals for you down the road. What's kind of your end plan?
I mean, ultimately, obviously, for High Point, win a Big South Conference championship. We won one last year, but I wasn't there. Just have a successful college career, and whatever happens from there happens. Try to help the program win, but just also enjoy and have fun. I mean, I'm only guaranteed 3 more years of baseball, so put all I can into it right now, and if I find success, good things will keep on happening, but just enjoy it while I have it.
3-1. Bose draws the walk. No.
No.
That one looked pretty high.
Yeah, I was up and in. It looked like I was generous.
Well, when your command's all over the place, I guess you get one call to go your way.
Yep.
So the count full here with 1 away. Again, bases are loaded for Oneonta, top 5. Gonna grab some insurance up on the scoreboard after Mohawk Valley grabbing one bottom 4th. Payoff pitch.
That was in.
And Bose now drawing the walk. So that'll force a run to score. Is Kazuhara going to tag in? Porter advances to 3rd, waiting to 2nd. Now it'll be Bose at 1st. And Jack, down at High Point, besides baseball, what do you enjoy about going to school there? What's your major academically?
Yeah, so I'm majoring in business. Honestly, for me, it's just meeting outside of baseball, just new friends, because like I said earlier in the broadcast, I'm from Tampa, so I kind of branched out in a way. Didn't go to school near home. So just meeting kids from all around. Obviously, the college aspect of things, just living alone. Don't really have my family near me. They came up for a good amount of weekend series and stuff, but kind of just getting used to being a college kid alone in a place that's honestly a flight away. So just learning life skills is kind of what High Point preaches, is your life skills, and handshake away, meeting people, connections. So just being able to adjust to be a college kid, juggle baseball and school at the same time. Definitely matured a lot just in the course of 1 year.
So the count to 1-1 here on your boy Jace.
Yep.
Outlaws 5 hits on the night so far. 4 of them came in the top of the 4th. And Kohler going to take a strike there. Tell me a little bit about your friendship with Jace off the field, and what do you guys usually lean on each other for?
Yeah, so I've known Jace since travel ball in high school. We played on the same organization, so I've known him for a while. But he lives like 25 minutes away from me, so other than baseball, our relationship wasn't anything crazy. I mean, we were friends and whatnot during the summer, and then we knew we were going to High Point together, so we were suite mates this year for freshman year. Our rooms connected, so we got really close there, and we were roommates on the road. So over time, we got real close. And then when our coach told us we were going to play together, we kind of encouraged each other a lot. It's a fair ball. Okay, a fair ball.
Yeah, looks like the line takes a little bit of a curve over there in right field.
Yeah, but we help each other, we encourage each other, we push each other to be the best players and friends we can be. We help each other with our approach to the play. It's kind of a big reason why I think Coach put us together, was so we can challenge each other and just work on specific things. So it's been good to be able to have him not only as a teammate, but just a friend to hang out and talk to, and always be down to hang out.
Kohler puts one over the
Right,
head of
boy.
Calabretti in the left. Chugging around third. Connor waiting, being waved in to score. Bo stopping at second. Gets back in there. So 2-run score on the Kohler hit.
It's 3 for 3 right there.
He's having himself a pretty good day.
Yeah, he is. Oh, boy. That coach is getting a little bit chippy over there.
Hey, it'll happen. Mohawk Valley is always one of those teams that tries to be a powerhouse up here.
Yeah, I don't know.
The designated hitter number 18.
So Porter and Waiting both scoring. Nathan Bowes at second. First and second, Hugo Conhorst. And on that swing from Jace, what'd you see there to put that one in play?
So, he's been working on a different little approach recently. He's trying to get his leg up early and help with more ball flight, not getting jumpy out of the box. So he's just working on little things right now. So to see him have success early is good. I've been filming him throughout the games so we could analyze the swings later in the night and just see if he's getting his leg up in time and whatnot. Because a few guys on our team actually use this timing mechanism, get your leg up early, ready at release. So he's trying it out right now. I mean, it's the best time to try it in the summer when this is obviously for winning, but and reps. So he's been able to feel things out. It's looking good so far.
Well, when you talk about mechanics and trying things out, were there any specific goals that you personally came here to Oneonta with this summer?
Yeah, so I was looking forward to just elevating the ball more, not necessarily home runs and stuff like that. Just more fly balls, more line drive contact. I'm a gap-to-gap hitter, but I still want to get some elevation in my swing. So just trying to get my hands extended and sit back on pitches and just loft more balls. Not necessarily home runs, like I said. If they come, they come. But as I mature, good things will happen. Oh,
Golden Horse, man, protect that head.
yeah, I might need ice pack here soon. Yeah, it was.
Be tallying up the ice pack counter, forget counting strikeouts.
Yeah.
2-2 with one away. Again, it's first and second. Boston at second. Kohler at first. Here's the pitch.
Boy.
That's low. So Conhorst working pretty good at bat. In terms of what you've been seeing from your teammates here at Oneonta so far, how would you describe this team if you had to give a phrase for it?
It's like gritty. We run balls out. Haven't had many double plays, I feel like, on us. I think we've turned more than we've given other teams. I think we might not spray the stat sheet up with hits and extra base hits, but aggressive base running, steals. Just want to play with walks. I think we've had a good amount of walks. I mean, that's a wood bat league, so you can't expect everyone just to crush the ball around the park, but I think we've stayed true to our approach and just trust one another that if the pitchers throw strikes, we'll get the job done.
Well, and I got to ask, when you mentioned it being a wood bat league, how hard is it to make that transition to using a wood bat?
It is pretty tough, Obviously, the ball doesn't fly off the bat is hard. So just being able to trust yourself and just put a good swing on balls. Also, in the back of your head, as much as you don't want to think about it, you know that you can break a wood left and right. So we've already seen 2 from our guys tonight. So it's kind of a different feel. You gotta be more particular with your swings. Don't be timid whatsoever, but just try to get a good swing off and be more gritty. You might not hit the ball as far in the gap, but if you can leg it out, it's an extra base hit in the book.
Mohawk Valley's going to make a pitching change. We're going to step aside for a quick break on Laws YouTube. Oneonta's got a 6-2 lead. Here, top 5. All right, we're back here in Little Falls, top of the fifth, 6-2, Outlaws leading. Jaden Kennedy's at the plate, and the bases are loaded, and we got a new arm on earlier from Mohawk Valley, as Kennedy's got a good rip fouling one back.
Good swing.
Out there now, Jonas Aponic, who's making his second appearance of the summer through 3 innings in Utica's second game of the year. Gave up a run, charged as earned, walked 2, and struck out 4. As Kennedy, the line foul 0-2. Well, I want to go back to what you were saying, Jack, before we went to break. You were talking about breaking down film. You were talking about the conversations you and Jace have about swings. That was one thing in our pregame interview today. Coach Keaton was really talking about how much you guys analyze and how much, you really spend on seeing the game well. Where did that start for you? Was that a college thing, or have you always been like that?
I'd say it was more of a college thing because in college you can kind of get exposed more for little flaws. In high school you're seeing solid pitching, but most arms that are getting ran out in our games are above average arms. So the little things can have a bigger effect than you think. So just trying to hone in on those things and focus on that. And this is the time of year, like I said, in the summer it's a lot of reps. So you can work on those things in the game and get a true feel rather than just hitting tee or front toss. You can get in-game feels and timing to really try to get your swing to where it needs to be going back into school in the fall.
So Kennedy going to leave one there, running the count full. Well, and timing-wise, how do you feel like you've kind of improved the more you've gone on seeing high-leverage pitchers?
I think it's ebbed and flowed, honestly. Every pitch is a little bit different. Not everyone's just a stock arm. Some guys have some sink to their fastball. Some guys are quicker to the plate. Some guys are slower. So as I've seen a wider variety of arms, I've been able to, adjust to different things. So definitely some bumps in the road, but it's all a learning process right now. Just trying to understand it and use certain cues on when to start or when to release and all that good stuff.
So Thomas Woodridge is going to be the 9th outlaw to bat here in this top of the 5th. Already 3 runs home the half inning.
Good boy.
And there's one missing for ball 1. Woodridge walking in the 3rd, flew out to left in the 4th, so 3 consecutive half innings. He's come to the dish. 1-0 in there for a called strike, 1-1. The 4-run lead here, what do you think you're looking for to hit if you're Woodridge?
Just looking for a fastball. I think he's going to land in 1 breaking ball. I mean, he's only probably throwing 2 or 3, but in this point of the game, you got a little bit of a buffer. Why not try to get a pitch you can do damage with and extend the lead we already have. Especially 2 odd RBIs are backbreakers, but if you clear the bases here, that's a big momentum swing.
So Aponic and Mayer get on the same page. 2-strike approach for Woodbridge, and he's going to be sent down swinging. Went right through that one, and so that ends this top half of the 5th. Outlaws played 3 more on just 1 hit. They do leave the bases loaded, though. We're halfway home in this one. Laws 6-2 lead over the DiamondDawgs. Back here to Little Falls, bottom half of inning 5. Outlaws having a 6-2 lead now as they've put 3 spots on the board in each of the last 2 half innings at the plate. Jacob Turner remains out there for another inning, and he gets a called first strike to Brandon Hawk. Got to give a big shout out Jack Clark swinging by the broadcast here in the top of the 5th, and what was a long half inning. 9 Outlaws coming to the plate, and once again leaving the bases loaded, and there's 2 strikes now on Hawk, with Turner getting a nice drop. Oneonta's left 6 on the base pass through 5 innings. Mohawk Valley on their side of things, they've stranded 8 through 4. Is this one? Cannon, shallow center, you are going to have it. And so there's one away. Hawk retired for the first time tonight. We'll go to Edwin Sanchez with one away. Sanchez flew out to right field in the first, grounded out 4-3 in the third. Turner dropped one down off the plate, ball 1. Turner trying to fight back with something here, get another good inning. Outlaws do have somebody starting to get hot down in the bullpen. Looks like it's Jordan Goebel. As it counts to 1-1. Goebel hasn't made an appearance yet this summer, just recently joined the squad. One, and that's going to come down and away, 2-1. Turner looking for a pitch, trying to end this at-bat right here, right now. That one foul back. So we'll keep at it and try it again. Turner, 5th pitch of the AB. Going to be popped up right side of the infield, chugging over foul territory. Waiting's got it. And there's 2 down. Connor Waiting with a big pop-up catch, foul territory. Turner sent down 3 in a row after a bit of shakiness. And Ian Olschlager going to get a chance to swing the big stick. Mohawk Valley and Oneonta, talked about it before, but first of 8 matchups this summer, just 3 of which are here in Little Falls. We'll be back up here again in Mohawk Valley on July 10th, as well as, okay, there's one on June 23rd, as I can't read my own handwriting, it happens. Olschlager trailing in the count, 0-1, and this one down the line, Rip third base side, 0-2. So again, June 23rd, July 10th, the other 2 Outlaw trips up here to Mohawk Valley. Turner trying to send him down 1-2-3. Roars back with his 0-2. And there it is. Turner goes down and away, gets Olschlager reaching, and the half inning comes to a close. The first 1-2-3 thrown by Oneonta tonight. 6th inning coming up next. Outlaws leading 6-2. Oneonta comes back to the plate here in Little Falls. Top six, and Kazuhara going to swing through the first one as he'll trail 0-1. Jonas Aponic staying out here on the mound. After getting the last 2 outs by Luke Jacobson. Is that one missing the intended target? For Kazuhara, as he'll be trailing 0-2. Uhara walking his last time up, started off that 5th for Oneonta that lasted quite some time, and he'll hang in there as it'll be 1-2. Upon it fires, and Uhara going to be sent down swinging. Uhara goes looking for that off speed down and away, and he'll walk back to the dugout as a result. And so Dane Richards going to be next up here for your Laws. Let's talk about Jonas Aponic a little bit more. Comes to Mohawk Valley from George Washington. Seems to be a school each year that they get a lot of products from. Stands at 6'1", 190s from Sugarloaf, Pennsylvania. So definitely a few hours from home coming here to Mohawk Valley. Plays summer ball. Is the 0-1. Good drop. And Richards is down 0-2. This spring he ended up pitching 24 2/3 innings, went 0-1, appeared in 8 games, made 7 starts. So this summer definitely taking on a little bit different role as he gets another K. Dane Richards swinging at one right down Main.
One more for our strikeout to side inning.
So Jonas Aponic,
Coming up to bat is the coach, number 49.
3 batters, 3 strikeouts. Can he make it 4 and strike out the side?
Sonic strikes out this batter. Everybody in the park will win a free ticket to a future DiamondDawgs.
Mohawk Valley announcing over the loudspeakers that if Zach Porter gets struck out, everybody in attendance getting a free ticket to another DiamondDawgs game. So Porter's definitely got some incentive to work with here. There's the count to 1-0. Mohawk Valley big on the in-game promotional stuff. Certainly makes it fun for the fan experience here. Here's the 1-0. Porter watched it, 2-0. Porter, as we talked about with Clark, has been hit twice now. Flying out to right in the first, and then back-to-back hit by pitches in the 4th and 5th. Also has scored 2 runs. 2-0. Porter, blast out in the right center, chugging over. That one falls in the hole. Porter rounds first. Took a big lead, and he dives back there. But with the pressure mounting on him, gets a hit. It's huge. And the Mohawk Valley fans probably not going to like Porter too much for that, but it's going to be Connor Waiting. Swing the bat. Waiting flew out to center in the 2nd, grounded out 3 unassisted in the 4th, so had a hit by pitch, scored a run in the 5th. Is Aponic with another fastball, and that's in there, strike 1. Oh, 1. Big swing. And now Waiting down 0-2. Outlaws to 7 hits on the night, 6 of which have come over the course of the last 3 innings after a bit of a slow start here up in Little Falls. First road trip since Sunday, so trying to shake the Bustlades off. Not going to have another road game till Wednesday night. We'll be back home tomorrow as well as Saturday. And the Monday game against Utica being postponed is Waiting, sent down swinging. So opponent does get the side, but a single sandwiched in between by Zach Porter. He's left on base as Oneonta stranded 7 through 6. DiamondDawgs back to the plate here, bottom 6, when we come back. Back here to Mohawk Valley, bottom of inning 6. Colby Smith joined by another special guest as I got SUNY Oneonta two-way player Zach Rowe. Zach, how are we feeling today?
Pretty good. It's nice to have an off night coming in here and watching a great game, winning 6-2.
Caden Hart from Virginia Tech going to pop the first one up foul. That one made a nice sound, Zach.
Yeah, I thought the guy was going to catch it and almost smoke some girls. Poor people.
So Hart's down 0-1. Jacob Turner back out here on the mound, trying to go 3 innings here out of the bullpen behind Staroba as he gets a big swing, and he'll trail 0-2. Now, Zach, tell me about Jacob. What have you been seeing from his stuff? What's it like to work with him?
It's pretty cool. He lives in my apartment building. He's one door down, so I've seen him around, talked to him a little bit. He's a cool kid. It's pretty cool to get to know him because he's from Detroit, from a different area, so it's pretty cool. He's been working his counts well here, staying ahead, just like that. We went down 1, 2, 3 with that kid, so it's nice to see that he's doing well here.
So Caden Hart sent down swinging, and it's Matt Mayer looking for his first hit still here of 2025 for the DiamondDawgs. Zed, tell me a little bit about your start this summer. You've had both the opportunity to pitch and play the field now, so what's it like, two-way player in summer ball?
Yeah, it's pretty cool. I was in that two-way spot this spring for my team. Didn't get any ABs, which was okay because I got some pitching time, but it's pretty cool to be able to come out one night, throw a few innings, and then go out the next night and get some ABs.
Well, in terms of what your goals were this summer coming here to the Outlaws, what specifically did you have in mind?
I really wanted to get back into that comfortable spot with the swing and everything. You know, taken away from all that time, not seeing live for a bit, trying to make an adjustment to the pitching and stuff, and then just for pitching and just trying to locate a little bit better with different pitches, especially in different times.
Counted 2-1 here on Mayer, and talking specifically about the hitting side of things, how pleased have you been with your performance so far at the plate, and what are you still hoping to clean up moving forward?
Yeah, I'm pretty happy about what's been happening and going on. Gotten a few hits, been adjusting pretty well to the pitching. I want to try and work on just more swinging at the ball. I like to be aggressive, and I feel like I've taken a few good first pitches, which I'm not too pleased about. So looking forward, if I see that first pitch fastball, I really want to attack it when I get it.
Matt Mayer popping up to shortstop. His 2 have been sent down here by Turner starting the 6th. Top of the lineup, and there's a called strike 1. And for you, you always seem to be the first guy at the clubhouse. You're always there, ready, putting in that early work. How huge has that been for your summer so far?
Yeah, it's just trying to get back into the grind of things, trying to work out those little kinks with the swing. But I was always taught by my dad that early work, you know, always helps and everything. Be early. If you're not early, you're not on time. So just putting in that early work has really helped with everything. A couple of guys will come in, and then we get to hit together, which is nice. But yeah, I'm just trying to figure out all the hitting stuff still. I'm adjusting and trying to see that live a little bit better than I did in the fall when I was swinging it.
Well, in terms of what you've learned or picked up from any of these other Outlaw hitters so far this summer, is there anything that you've kind of taken away?
I've been talking to a few of the high point kids, which is pretty nice. These guys are high competitors in a high D1 college. So, like, just wondering what they're thinking going up to the bat, like, what they're like focused on and everything, which is pretty cool. And then just seeing these guys swinging the bat, it definitely helps, making you think like, oh yeah, like, you know, if he's swinging that bat so well, like get a few pointers from him, and then trying to adjust into the game.
Calabrese continuing to fight, still in a 2-2 count. And how huge do you feel like the addition of Jason Jett from High Point to this team has been here just after a couple of days?
Oh man, I mean, he's raking today. He's, knock on wood, he's 3 for 3, so he's been hitting pretty well. Both the High Point kids have been getting on base, which is really nice. Defensively, I mean, the guy's pretty clean, man. Like, they definitely know how to play ball, which is really nice.
So Woodbridge struggles a little bit to bring that one down. Took a little bad spin in the air, but he hauls it down, luckily, to 1-2-3, thrown by Jacob Turner as he goes 3. And we will hit the 7th here on Outlaws YouTube. Oneonta still a 6-2 lead. Top 7, Colby Smith, got Zach Rowe back alongside me here. Nathan Bowes, Jace Kohler, Hugo Cohnhorst going to be the guys to swing the bat. Aponic remains on the bump for Mohawk Valley. Already threw an inning and 2/3. Is that one? Nice drop. Gets a called strike one. And Zach, somebody who's worked with Nathan Bowes quite a bit here early on. What's it like having him behind the plate for you?
It's pretty cool. Defensively, he's really good, man. And seeing his bat, he's been pretty good recently as well. So it's cool to know that you have a guy behind you that's defensively well catching and definitely knows what he's talking about when it comes to throwing different pitches at the right spot.
0-2, and that one bounced off the plate, so it'll run to 1-2. And for you as a pitcher, how much of it is a comfort thing, having a catcher that you work well with and get along with really well?
Yeah, it's definitely a big thing. It's nice to have someone who definitely works well with you. Good communication is a big thing with you and the catcher. And then just knowing like right spots at different times and what pitches pitchers like to throw. So me and Nate have communicated with that and all the other catchers, and it's been pretty nice to know what pitch is supposed to come and me and him on the same wavelength.
So the count 2-2.
Good spit.
And that hits the glove. Runs full here. Since Aponit's come over taking on the pitching duties here, what have you been seeing from his stuff?
This guy on the mound?
Yeah.
He's been all right. The last guy from, I don't even remember, but a big D1 school, he's been able to find the zone except for that AB, I guess. But I mean, his stuff's been working well. He's throwing pretty hard. Good for him.
Well, and in terms of talking about throwing hard, here in the PGCBL, some of these squads that you see in your division, in Amsterdam, Saugerties, and Mohawk Valley, you're regularly seeing arms who are hitting mid-90s, upper 90s. How tough is that to adjust to?
It's pretty tough, I guess. It's kind of, I heard it's easier to go from not seeing it at all, like not seeing any live, to adjusting to straight to this, instead of going from like 70 to 80 to this, adjusting. So I feel like it's been a little easier seeing the pitches. I've been able to read them pretty well, which was pretty nice.
So the count's at 1-0 here on Jace Kohler. Ken Bowes is on base after the leadoff walk. Ponnet fires. That's low, gets away from Mayers, cruising down to second. Bowes gets in there safely. And so that, a wild pitch, 2-0, going to be your count. Zach, in terms of your game preparation for what your routine's like, what do you go about doing during the day on a day you know you're going to play, and is there anything specific you do right before the game, get yourself ready?
Not really anything I do. I mean, I try to have a good meal before, maybe a little energy drink to wake up my system, but most of the stuff really comes at the field, going in for that early work like you said, and then trying to just prepare myself to get ready in the mind space that I need to be to get into that game.
Upon it, 3-0. And that comes back and flips the zone 3-1. Well, I mentioned it when I first brought you on here, but you do go SUNY Oneonta, and of course playing here for the Outlaws this summer. What made you decide to stay right in Oneonta for summer ball?
Yeah, I really enjoyed it this year at school. Definitely very high vibes. It's a little different from now and during school, but just the atmosphere here is pretty cool, and it's a really great league, and I was really happy to get a spot from Coach Keaton.
Counts run full here with nobody away. Upon it, fires. That misses the spot. Kohler gets on. And it's back-to-back walks. So it seems like this offense, I mean, you're a part of it, but continuing to do those little things right and play fundamentally sound baseball.
Yeah, for sure. It's definitely nice to see finally doing the right things at the right spot, which is nice. Definitely like to see that out of your team, and then just seeing it pay off in the game is definitely, it makes a big difference.
Hugo Cohnhorst is now going to come up, swing the bat here. Bowes is at second, Kohler's at first, nobody away. Laws are leading by 4. And there's a nice drop called strike 1. With that whole process of you deciding to settle for the Outlaws, how did that come about? How did you decide, that the Outlaws were the place that you really wanted to play?
Yeah, my buddy from home, Kyle Bartlett, who I'm living with, he texted me up one day and he was like, "Oh, hey, if you were gonna play in Oneonta, I'll definitely play. It'd be nice to have someone we know at this spot." And I went into my coach in the fall meeting and I was like, "Hey, I was just wondering if there's a spot I could play out here for Coach Keaton." And he was like, "Yeah, man, I'm gonna look into that and I'll let you know." So I got his phone number from my coach, and me and Keaton talked after that, and he said, "We'd love to have a spot here for you."
Hugo Conhorst is going to get frozen looking, so he'll be retired. That's the stuff that Aponic was throwing there, and that sits to get himself the 3Ks. Comes back around to find it. Well, and in terms of this whole summer ball experience as a whole, how would you describe what it's like, at least early on, to be part of, not just the PGCBL, but specifically the Outlaws organization?
It's really cool knowing you got some high developed players here, especially some of those High Point kids. We got some Woofer kids, so it's pretty cool playing with guys who are D1. Just seeing the competition is pretty cool. Like, we get to compete here. Just their takes with everything. It's really nice to see.
Kennedy ahead in the count now, 2-0. Well, and developmental-wise, how big do you think this summer's going to be for you going back to school ball next year?
I think it's definitely going to play a big part. Just seeing a lot of that live pitching for the hitting aspect, and just getting those reps that I really need with that and pitching. Hopefully we'll try and get me up to that next level to be able to compete again next year for the SUNY Oneonta.
Well, and for those guys around on this team that know that you attended SUNY Oneonta, have been around in the area a bit, have any of them leaned on you to this point about spots to eat or things to do?
Yeah, definitely. Definitely told the guys about a few spots that are really nice to eat at and different things like that. We got this one place right next to our apartment building. They got some halal food, which is really good. And then we got Tino's out there. Great pizza spot. Got that cold cheese. It's amazing.
So the Outlaw base runners are going to pull off the double steal. Bo's getting a third, Kohler to second. So the aggression on the base pass causing chaos is what Coach Keaton called it the other day. Continuing. 2-2. Jaden Kennedy continuing to look for something here at the plate. And he takes one high, ball 3. Zach, in terms of places to eat, other than Tino's, what are some of the good spots that Oneonta fans should check out?
There's a couple spots. If you're into sushi, there's a couple. Asian cuisine's pretty good. A couple other spots right around there. I haven't really had too many things. There's a place called The Meltdown that I've gotten during school time. Get some good melts there. That's really good. You got the normal fast food stuff. A lot of people are a lot of Chipotle guys. We don't have that around us, but we got a Moe's, which is pretty good. So if you like those fast calories and protein and everything, Moe's is a big spot to go to.
So Jaden Kennedy pops to first. If you could make that out on your screen here. He's 0 for 4. Woodbridge is going to come up. He's been on once, walked, also has flown out and struck out. Big pop, it'll be an 0-1 count here. Tell me about Thomas Woodbridge. What's it been like sharing the field, sharing the locker room with him?
It's been pretty cool. He's part of one of the Wooford kids. He got sick not too long ago, had like a cold or something, I'm pretty sure. So just seeing him back on that field is pretty cool. He made that great play at second earlier in the game. Seeing him defensively is pretty nice, man. I'd love to see him get on the board here with a hit.
Certainly be nice to tack a couple more up there. 4-run lead, but can never get too comfortable as Woodbridge, a blasting ball out in the left center, chugging over the gap. This one's caught. Calabrese able to snag it down, and that ends the Outlaw threat here, top 7. They strand 2 on, and Zach, it's been a blast having you here.
Thanks, Colby. Hi, Dad.
Bottom of the 7th coming up next. Outlaws still leading this thing, 6-2.
number
Bottom. Got another special guest alongside me here is Braden Ferris dropping by to join the broadcast. Braden, how are we feeling tonight?
I'm doing great, man. How are you?
Well, I'm loving that we got a lead on the board here.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Got a new pitcher taking things over on the mound. It's going to be Jordan Goebel. And Braden, Jordan just recently joining this team, was here last year, but so far, what have you seen from Goebel? What have you talked about with him?
I actually met him at the gym the first day he got here. I know that he played at Herkimer for a little while, and he actually played with my boy at Oswego. I didn't know he threw sub though, that's actually really sick, actually. But yeah, other than that, I heard he's a dog. Hopefully he can get us in and out of this inning real quick.
Yeah, Goebel just recently transitioning into that submarine. His count going to 2-0. Certainly worked well for him at Oswego this spring. He's a returning outlaw, but this spring at Oswego, first year there, 8 games, had a 2.25 ERA. 2-0, and that'll come back in the zone, 2-1.
Yeah, boy.
Braden, tell me a little bit about you. What's your college experience been like, and what's it like being here in Oneonta?
I started out my career at Tompkins Cortland Community College, and then I transferred to Russell Sage College in Albany. I took a gap year this year just for some issues that I had off the field. My experience so far in Oneonta has been great. There's a great group of guys here. I love coming here every day to hang out with the guys, and it's honestly awesome environment.
Well, what made you decide to play summer ball and specifically come play for the Outlaws?
Pat Dangler, actually, he put me on. I wanted to come back and play, and I know after taking a gap year, I'd have to get some in-game reps, and I reached out to Pat Dangler, and he gave me Coach Key's number. Reached out to Coach Key, and we talked a little bit, and then he found me a spot on the roster, and I'm truly blessed for it.
2-2's the count here on Matthew Satera, leading things off, bottom 7. Again, Oneonta's leading by 4. As this one, Goebel put it to the bad stop, so the count's going full. Prior to this summer, had you ever had the experience to play summer ball before, or even thought about taking summer ball experience?
Oh, yeah, I played down in Myrtle Beach for a summer for the Cal Ripken experience. That was an awesome experience, getting to play ball down in the South, playing with a great group of guys down there. The previous summer before the gap year, I played for the Horseheads Hitmen in the NYCBL, and that was also a pretty good experience, but that season was cut short due to an injury, so other than that, that's about all I've played over the summer.
Well, and what was the difference in the experience between South Carolina Horseheads and now here in Oneonta?
Oh, man. Probably the biggest thing has been just how the environment is. Like, coming to this league, it's been like a real professional environment. Like, the clubhouse is sick. Having a clubhouse is sick to hang out with the boys and coming to other fields to check out their environments, and all teams so far that I've been to have done a great job with the environment, and that's been the best part.
1-0 missing the spot, so Calabretti getting ahead 2-0. In terms of the experience of just being an outlaw, how would you describe what it's like to play here, and how would you describe, just being a part of this team?
Well, to play at Damaski, a historical field, that's awesome in itself. It's just two great coaches, Coach Key, Coach Joe. They're just really chill, relaxed, and they watch you play, and if they see anything that they have to tweak, they'll talk to you and they'll help you figure out that tweak. Other than that, I mean, just playing baseball with the guys, it's awesome. That's all you could ever ask for,
Goebel, it seems like, trying to shake off a little bit of rust. Is Satira, Calabretti's lost them both to Watts. Porter comes out, talk to him, and hopefully he can find a way to battle back here. Justin Hurd will come up. You mentioned the historical Damaski Field and playing there. Now that you've had a couple of home games to experience, I mean, just how special is the environment there truly?
Oh, it's so sick. Honestly, just having hometown fans come watch us, that's cool in itself. And then the thing that I didn't know is that Mickey Mantle and Babe Ruth actually played at that field too, which I think is cool to be able to share a field with them one time.
Justin Hurd showing bunt, yanks it back as he trails 0-1. Well, knowing that those guys played there and so many other guys who spent time in the major leagues have you know, been in that clubhouse, been in that dugout? Is that something that ever crosses your mind when you step foot over the foul line?
Yeah, honestly, every time I walk into the clubhouse, I just think about how cool it is to be playing at a historical ballpark and all the people that have played here, and it's just an awesome experience.
Porter going to have to eat that one as it'll be a bunch single as he's unable to get the throw off. Satira to third, Calibretti at second, Hurd at first, and Braden. Man, Goebel's got himself quite the jam to work out of here.
Yeah, I think he's going to get out of this right here. He's going to get a ground ball, turn two, they'll get a run, but that's all right.
Goebel, one area that he always used to excel in was pitching to contact. Is Goebel just barely missed ball one. And Braden, for your reps that you've seen so far, both in the cage, on the field so far this summer, what have you thought of your performance?
A little bit disappointed with my performance on Sunday against Socrates, but those games will happen, and I just got to flush that and move on to the next and find a way with the next opportunity that I get.
So Brandon Hawk depositing one in the glove in left. Nathan Bose coming up with a big put out. It is an RBI. As Satira scores, Mohawk Valley going to have first and second with one out. And Braden, that double play you talked about still could be in effect here, which is big. Edwin Sanchez will come up next. He's 0 for 3. Well, when you say you were disappointed in your performance down there at Socrates Sunday, what specifically did you think about after, and what are you hoping to clean up here moving forward?
I just need to be more aggressive at the dish. I mean, I saw a lot of pitches that I could have hit, and then I put myself in a bad situation, and then just the whole at-bat just went downhill. Can't think about it too much, though, because it's in the past. And just like I said before, move on to the next.
That's a tough break for the infield. Connor waiting, putting it all on the line after bad bounce, had it in his glove. Goebel didn't come over to cover the bag, so get a base runner is Edwin Sanchez. Gonna get on. Definitely got to be more heads up in terms of the communication, especially for a couple of guys that played together last year. That's one that they're gonna have to talk about and clean up moving forward. Ian Oschlager, 1 for 2 tonight, also has reached on an error. Bases once again loaded. Is that one missing the spot? Braden, in terms of what you're seeing here from the Arsenal, Goebel, what's got to turn around here to get himself out of this?
Just got to start filling up the zone, get ahead early. You don't want to fall behind with balls early, because then you already put yourself into a tough situation.
Count to 1-1. And let's go back to what you said about taking a gap year from Russell Sage. What's your major in college? What's your area study, and what you're hoping to do post-college?
So I go to school for physical education. With that, I'd like to teach for a few years doing PE, and then after that, well, with that, I'd like to coach as well, and then hopefully take my coaching to a high-level college.
Oschlager's going to pick up an RBI single as he drops one just in front of Kazuhara. All of a sudden, the DiamondDawgs are making this a close game. Base is still loaded, and there's one out, and Keaton Mart's going to come out of the dugout. See if he's taking the ball from Goebel here, as there has been an arm up and thrown, and it looks like he's going to. Goebel not getting greeted summer 2025 too kindly. As he'll be taking off here. We're going to step aside for a quick break. We'll introduce you to the new Oneonta arm when we come back. Coach Keaton makes another call to the bullpen. Jordan Goebel's night ends. Only records 1 out. Leaves the bases juiced. 6-4 is your score. Favor the Outlaws, and it's Dan Payton who takes over the hill. Mohawk Valley designated hitter Caden Hart taking strike 1. Dan Payton, another guy who's trying to get his confidence back. He's 0-1 as he did take the loss opening night at Amsterdam. Got rung up in his inning award, 4 hits, 4 runs. All were earned. Walked 2, struck out 1. His bat pit there by Porter. Count goes 1-1. Hart singled in the second, was hit by a pitch in the 4th, and then struck out swinging in the 6th. So this is his 4th trip to the plate tonight. Peyton with his 1-1. Big swing and a miss, 1-2. Finished his sophomore year at Hudson Valley. He's in the midst of looking for a new school. Hoping to see him commit here soon. Had a commit yesterday. We talked about on the broadcast. David Denton going to Holy Family. As there's a miss down and outside, 2-2. DiamondDawgs looking for a big hit. Seemed like last time, every time the Outlaws were here, last year I mean, every time the Outlaws were here, Mohawk Valley saving their big hits till the final couple innings. As this one yo-yoed on back over behind the screen. Been a really competitive, exciting game between these two Eastern Division rivals tonight. So excited to have so many left to go against Mohawk Valley this year. 2-2. Swung right through as Peyton getting a big K.
Now batting for your Dogs, the catcher, number
Huge
17,
strikeout for the Oneonta arm out of the bullpen.
Mayer.
And now Matt Mayer going to roll on up. Mayer walked in the second, grounded out 1-3 in the 4th, and then popped to short in the 6th. This one, right side, shallow, caught by Woodbridge. And that is going to end the 7th inning. Took a couple stutter steps back into shallow right, yanks it down out of the lights. Goebel only going to be charged for the 2. 3 hits, hit the board. And Mohawk Valley leaves 3 on base. To the 8th we go here on Outlaw YouTube. Oneonta, 6-4 is your score. Top of the 8th, back here in Little Falls from Veterans Memorial Park. 6-4, lead shrunk for Oneonta, but trying to find a way to fight back, get a few more runs on the board, and they're going to try to greet another arm with some firepower. Is Jade Chavez, the Villanova product, taking over the pitching duties. Stands at 6'1", 185. He's from Westfield, New Jersey, as he fouls one this way up the line. Be an 0-1 count. Chavez this spring at Villanova, appearing in 15 games, made 2 starts, had an 0-1 record, 1 save, had 17 Ks, 21 2/3 innings, and his ERA was a 7.48. 0-1 in there, called strike 2. And Uhara falling behind for 4th of 5 at-bats tonight. Chavez going to pump one high and away. 1-2. Chavez, his mother Sheila actually went to Villanova as well. He made it a big deal with getting the offer there that he wanted to keep the family tradition alive, so opting to settle for the school just outside the Center City, Philadelphia area. 1-2. That's just above the plate. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Uhara working it bad from down 0-2 to a 2-2. As Chavez deals. Uhara up the middle. That takes a skip. Heard over in time. His heart stretches a bit to ensure he gets the call. So Uhara, the first out, and down we go to Dane Richards.
Dane Richards.
Richards grounded out 1-3 in the first, had a walk and scored a run in the 4th, and then struck out in both the 5th and the 6th. So 1 for 4 overall tonight as he puts one into the ground, charging it again. Hurd on the run, makes the throw. Just in time to get the out. So back-to-back 4-3s quickly. Here ahead is Zach Porter.
Catcher number 49 from Wofford College, Zach Porter.
Zach Porter has been on 3 times tonight. Fly out to right in his first AB in the first. Hit by a pitch, scored a run, both the 4th and the 5th, before he singled in the 6th. So he continues to stay hot out there. Porter, 2 big hits yesterday. Also had a sac bunt that was crucial in getting on the scoreboard early on in the game as well. Porter trying to find a way here, 1-0, swung right through. A fastball. Chavez can certainly bring the heat. Scouting report said he tops out 94. Where's he from? 1-1. And Porter with a good take. 2 balls, 1 strike. Following Zach Porter, Connor waiting, sitting in the on-deck circle, hoping he can find a chance to swing the bat here in this half inning. Chances are winding down to add some more runs up on the board. 2-1. Again, going to miss. 3-1. Again, another reminder, Outlaws back home tomorrow, Saturday. Tomorrow against Glens Falls, family fun night, free admission sponsored by NBT Bank. Got pregame catch starting at 6, and we're going to have some on-field activities that are both sibling and full family friendly going on throughout the middle innings all night long. 3-1. Left side of the infield, bounding ball, Calabretti over to Hawk in time for a 5-3, 3 ground balls, an efficient inning from Chavez, getting it done. So the Outlaws going down in order. Bottom 8 we go. Got to hold it where it's at. 6-4 is your score. Back to the top of the order for Mohawk Valley. Dan Payton remains on the hill for Oneonta, looking for some key outs. Payton getting himself out of Jordan Goebel's bases loaded jam that he came into with a strikeout of Caden Hart, and then getting a pop out from Matt Mayer to second. Get the job done. So 0-1, Calabrese. Talked about earlier, a lot of baseball in his bloodline. Cousin who got drafted by the Giants 10th overall. His uncle Frank playing in the majors and then major league hitting coach for 7 years. So I'm sure Calabrese certainly has a lot of influence to help him out. As the 1-1, going to sail upstairs, 2-1. Payton going to try to get out of this quick as possible. Outlaws, when they come back to bat, top 9, going to have heart of the order. It'll be 4, 5, 6. That one, another miss up and away, 3-1. So if the game remains close like this, got to wonder what the plan of attack is going to be in terms of going bottom 9. As Calabrese is going to be lost to the walk.
Now batting for your DiamondDawgs, the center.
Haven't had a close game like this right at the end as of yet, so somebody's going to have to take on a closer role, and nobody's Mariano Rivera. Matthew Cetera has been walked twice. Also flew out to center, struck out swinging in a second as Keaton March going to come walking out of the dugout. Do have an arm starting to get up there and throw down to the bullpen and left. It looks like not going to take the ball just yet. It looks like it's Logan Marquez who's throwing down there in left field. Marquez, another guy, just recently joined this staff. Would certainly be huge if he comes in, makes his first appearance in a close game like this, because Marquez has got a gross arm. Can certainly throw all very hard and kind of got a lot of arm action ready to go after not having thrown it all at Coastal Alabama this spring. Peyton's going to walk off the hill here. Matthew Cetera, he's walked twice, as I said already. Again, Jaden Kennedy going to drift in a bit from third. Is that one coming back in there for a called strike? 0-1.
Go, Dan.
Short lead for Calabrese off the back. He looks like he wants to run. Trying to throw Peyton out of rhythm here. Is that one down and away? 1-1. Waiting, ready on the edge of the bat for something that might come his way. Peyton did try his pick off a couple of times opening night. As this one will go to the bat stop. Porter having to chase it down. To second goes Calabrese. Mohawk's got a runner in scoring position with still nobody out. So Cetera, it's a critical AB here. Needs to do something. As the 2-1 swung right through. Peyton climbing up there a bit in terms of the heat. Peyton gets himself on the same page as Porter. Back ready. Big swing and a miss. So Peyton fights back down on the count to get a K. There's one away for Joey Calabretti. Calabretti walked in the first, grounded out 3-1 in the third, was hit by a pitch in the fourth. And then he walked and scored a run in the 7th. Tapper left side of the infield on a one-hop. Kohler going across. Diamond airmail to throw as it gets past Waiting. Good heads-up base run in. Calabrese scoots in the score. And the DiamondDawgs are within 1 here in the 8th. So that will be an error.
Batting for your Dogs, the second baseman, number 27.
First one from Jace Kohler this summer. And Justin Hurd now in a huge spot. One of the better bats last summer for the DiamondDawgs. Hit just south of 300, 298. Singled his last time up, also had a walk, but he has struck out twice tonight. Once was against Staroba, once was against Turner. Peyton trying to pick off. Waiting a little heads up over there. One out. Again goes upstairs, 2-0. Peyton out of the stretch here. Goes again. Once more high. And all of a sudden, on the edge of our seats here in Little Falls. And Peyton in a massive jam. 3-0. Comes back in the zone, 3-1. So it continues going after it. This is 3-1. Goes to the bat stop over the glove of Porter. He recovers nice, making sure Calabretti not going to scoot further than second.
Coming to play for your Dogs, the first baseman,
So that's a walk.
from St. Thomas Aquinas College.
And it will be Brandon Hawk to come up next. Coach Keaton's looking down to the bullpen as it looks like we're going to get another reliever coming out as he'll take the ball from Dan Payton. It is indeed going to be Logan Marquez, so he makes his 2025 debut. Let's see what he's got in the tank. Need 5 outs to close this one. Oneonta 6-5 your score. Logan Marquez out of the bullpen. 5 more outs to close this one out. Outlaws trying to get to 500, trying to beat Mohawk Valley for the first time since Saturday, June 11th, 2022. So it's been almost 3 years since it's been done. Beat them twice early in that season, and then not since. Marquez, as I said, did not throw at all this spring. Coastal Alabama making his first pitching appearance in game since last summer, as this one fouled off by Brandon Hawk, and he'll trail 0-1. Marquez last summer threw 7 innings, appearing in 5 games, made 3 starts. Threw twice against Mohawk Valley last year. Both were at home. June 22nd, as well as July 4th, an inning apiece. July 4th game was that miracle game, as this one into right field, caught, laying down Richards, able to come up with that and to get it to second, turning the double play as Woodbridge was there heads up. What a heads up play. Dane Richards getting it to Woodbridge over there at the bag to get it done. So Logan Marquez needs just 1 pitch to spin 2 outs. He throws 2. 9th inning we go. Outlaws 6-5. We're in a nail biter. Top of the 9th here in Little Falls. Outlaws leading by just 1. Connor Wading, Nathan Bowes, Jace Kohler. Going to try to attack up a little more offense and give Logan Marquez a little bit of breathing room. Wading shoots one straight back foul, and he'll be down 0-1. A huge situation for Oneonta here in this 9th inning. Again, this is the part of your lineup you want up, only leading by just 1. Get Wading on, give Nathan Bowes a chance to get up here and swing the stick. 0-1. That misses down and away. 1-1. Wading still looking for his first hit of the summer. Been on base a handful of times, though. So he'll take another good one. 2-1. Got word there's some weather hitting back around Oneonta tonight. rain that started just after 9 o'clock, and hopefully things will dry out pretty quick, because again, home the next 2 nights. Glens Falls tomorrow, Boonville Saturday, and expected to be a lot of rain tomorrow coming through Oneonta as well, so who knows what will happen. Hopefully we can get that one in. It's supposed to be the first of 7 against Glens Falls. 2-2. Swung right through, is waiting. Can't connect, so he'll be retired for the first out.
Now batting for the Outlaws, the left fielder number 4 from Sacred Heart University.
So now here's Nathan Bowes. Bowes is 1 for 2, a couple of walks as well. Run scored as a pair of RBIs. First one to him, big swing and a miss. As Bowes will be down 0-1. Bowes waits, takes one downstairs, 1-1. Bowes had a massive walk-off hit for Sacred Heart earlier this spring against Quinnipiac. No stranger to big ninth inning situations. 1-1. Fouls it off. Ball and 2 strikes. Behind him, Jace Kohler has been the red-hot outlaw. Hanging out in the on-deck circle. On all 4 times tonight, Kohler is the 1-2. Off the glove, gets away, 2-2. Mohawk Valley making a couple of changes to their defensive alignment here before this 9th inning. Joey Calabretti taking over the pitching duties. Justin Hurds at third, and they got Stoney at second. As this one to short, Satira across the diamond, dug out by Justin Hawk. Starting to get a little windy here in Little Falls as well, as there's a 6-3 for out 2. So hopefully we'll get this one finished off pretty quickly here. If rain's coming to Little Falls, get out of here before it comes. Jace Kohler, 3 singles and a walk tonight. Also stole second. Kohler taking one just above the plate. That's ball 1. Calabretti goes slider, gets a strike call as it goes to 1-1. Calabretti, this is his first pitching appearance of the summer. He's a 2-way, plays the infield, and now the count's 1-2. Jace Kohler, big contender for player of the game tonight. I don't know how you can look any other way with 3 singles, walk, stolen bag, couple RBIs. This one up the middle off the glove, rolling into center field. There's 4 hits for the High Point product. So Jace Kohler, 4 hits tonight, all of which have been singles. And now Hugo Conhorst going to try to get something done. Talked about it earlier on in the ball game, but he's very familiar with this ballpark, having played here for Herkimer this spring. First year was at Mineral Area, went to Herkimer for his sophomore year, and now taking his baseball services to Westchester as a big swing. Going to trail him down 0-1. Conhorst. This one gets to the backstop as it went over head height. 1-1. Short lead off second for Kohler. So again, 2 outs here, top 9. Only leading by just 1. Calabretti's hanging out on the left side of the hill as he pumps that one in there for a called strike 2. And all of a sudden, Hugo Konorst in 2-strike approach. One, two. Swing and a miss. Konorst retired via the swinging K. 9th inning ends there. Outlaws 1 hit, 1 left on. In the bottom of the 9th coming up next. Absolute nail biter. Don't go anywhere. Let's see what's ahead. Back to Little Falls. Logan Marquez is going to try to close this thing out, getting 5 outs. Edwin Sanchez, the Siena product, left fielder, going to settle himself in. 1 for 4 tonight. 3rd different pitcher he's seen is Marquez. First pitch of the inning. Going to drop off the lower outside for ball 1. Marquez mentioned in the 8th, but he throws a lot of gas out there on the hill. Throws hard, very efficient, filling up the zone when he's having a good day. 1-0. Comes back door with a strike. 1-1. Mohawk Valley, we've been talking about the Outlaws' upcoming schedule, but Friday they'll be at Amsterdam. Saturday their game was postponed, supposed to be in Utica. There's a big race over there. Connor Waiting just barely ran out of room. Went trotting to that green fence over there, hoping he could find a ball, but to no avail. So Saturday they're postponed. Sunday they're back home playing Glens Falls. Monday they'll go to Boonville. So heading up to the middle of nowhere, always fun time. 1-2. Marquez misses spot. 2-2. Marquez in his first out against Mohawk Valley last year was really good. Second time around, 4th of July, I already mentioned it, struggled in that outing. Outlaws, that was a game to remember last summer. A lot of the returning players cite that as one of their favorite games, if not their favorite from last summer. We were down 8-0 after 1. Turned around, managed to tie it 8-8. Bottom of the 9th, send it to 10, and nobody was able to score, so ended there, 8-8 tie is the loss. Tying MV twice last summer. Payoff pitch. Swing and a miss. Sanchez is retired, and there's 1 away. Huge strikeout from Marquez. And now it's Ian Olschlager.
From RPI, Ian Olschlager.
Olschlager, a couple of singles, also reached on an error as well as struck out swinging. Marquez gets him fouling one up the first baseline, so it's an 0-1 count. Went over the seats and into those trees as this ballpark is another one of those. I guess you can't really call it the middle of nowhere. It's kind of centralized here in Little Falls, but up on a hill and a lot of trees and stuff around. Wind only starting to pick up a little bit more. So trying to whip this thing out of here quick as possible, getting it done. Again, 1-1. Marquez readies. This one blasted foul up the third baseline into the fence. So Marquez needs one more to send the Dawgs to their final out. Marquez, this one takes a bad bounce left side, rolling into left. Bose will pick it up. Marquez has a lot of one-out single as we go to Caden Hart.
Coming up to the plate is the second baseman, number 7, from Lincoln University, Sean Stoney.
So they're actually going to make a change. Sean Stoney going to take the AB. He came in and played second in the top half of the last inning. Doesn't take Justin Hurt's spot. That made sense, taking the DH spot. All right, can work with that. Calabritti's spot, the 3 spot, becomes the DH, but hopefully that won't even be worry in the world. Only way that would come relevant is if we get back up there in this half inning, which, well, could be a possibility. Or if we end up going to 10. But of course, want to end this thing quick as possible. Down here with no cover on the third baseline, so if it started to rain, we'd have to pick up real fast. Don't want to have any of our equipment water damaged. Marquez missing his spot, ball 1. Sean Stoney's made a pitching appearance this summer. Also has already seen 14 ABs. And takes a strike. As Marquez went back to his fastball. Certainly been his most efficient. And it always is when it's working. 1-1. Good break. And he's again ahead on Stoney. Marquez tries to pick off. Back in there, safe. Olschlager. Marquez down low. 2-2. So Marquez has just got to find a way to locate something in the strike zone here yet again. Marquez, low once more, count runs full. So Marquez can't afford to lose him with one away. Puts one off the dish. That's ball 4. First and second with one out. It's Matt Mayer.
Catcher number 17 from SUNY Brockport, Matt Mayer.
Another massive spot. Here from Mohawk Valley, Matt Mayer with a chance to really put his fingerprint on this game. Matt Mayer single tonight. Big rip. Matt Mayer trailing 0-1. Marquez takes a quick glance behind him. That one comes up and plunks to left shoulder. Bases are loaded for Mohawk Valley.
All right, fans, the bases are loaded. We need you now.
And it's to the top of the lineup we go.
Up to bat, the center fielder, number 3 from Bucknell University, John Calabrese.
John Calabrese. Deep single could score 2 and end it. Marquez has got a lot down. Calabrese, 2 walks tonight, yet to register a hit and takes ball 1. Got to trust that the defense can back him up if he pitches to contact here. His defense has been shining all season so far, and there's a miss. 2-0. Doesn't have anywhere to put him, so if he walks him, this thing's tied. Marquez walks off the mound, taking some time. Now the stretch here, the 2-0. Misses, ball 3. And Marquez, one bad pitch away from walking in the game-tying run. Three 0. Gets it inside the zone, 3-1. So the fight is there for Kez right now. Him and Porter have been pretty spot on in terms of what they've been looking for. And there's ball 4, and we're tied in Little Falls. Still just 1 out. And it's Matthew Cetera. So again, he could end it with a ball in play. And Logan Marquez gets a mound visit from head coach Keaton Mark here. Bullpen is totally quiet, so this is Marquez's 9th inning to lose. And he's clearly frustrated right now. Seems like the message from Coach Keat really short there. And sometimes the shorter messages are the ones that are a lot more powerful. That's why when you're looking at motivational quotes, you don't have 20 sentence long paragraphs. You just get a short little phrase that does the job.
Once again, fans, the shortstop, number 33 from Wagner College, Matt Sutera.
So again, it's Matt Sutera. Sutera walking twice, a couple of strikeouts, as well as a fly out. Here's the offering. That one sails in, eyeball 1. Sutera ducked out of the way, so it doesn't end on a hit by pitch here. Sutera in his Diamond Dog debut, an opportunity to get it done. 1-0, again high, ball 2. Marquez, that fastball was working, but now it's kind of all over the place. Two-0. Right down Main. Lucky he didn't get a swing there. 2-1. Misses, ball 3. And Marquez clearly frustrated after that one. Frustration's the last thing you need right now. Gotta stay dialed in. 3-1. Called strike 2. So we might get some drama there. Still plenty of chance for drama. Count's full, 1 away. All tied up. It sits here, bottom 9 in Little Falls. Marquez winds. Swung on and missed. So he fights back.
All right, bases are still loaded.
From down 3-0 to get the punch out.
Coming to the plate is the
Joey Calabretti will now walk up.
from Seton Hall, Joey
Calabretti started this game at third, then made the transition to the hill, pitched the top of the 9th, shut the Outlaws down, get us to the 9th where they've put a heck of a run up here. Calabretti takes called strike 1. If this game does end up staying tied after 9, we'll play into the 10th. Just 1 extra inning is all you can play. It's the 0-1. High fly ball into left field, over in foul territory. Nathan Bose makes the grab, and we're heading to the 10th. Nathan Bose with a big catch in left field. Again, you can only play 1 extra inning, so this is all that'll be left tonight here in Little Falls to decide whether we're going to tie or somebody's taking a victory. So stay tuned here on Outlaw YouTube. We'll be back with top of the 10th here in just a moment. Big arm to take over the pitching duties for Mohawk Valley, Aiden Colagrande. And you might be asking yourself, why is that a big name? Why does that name sound familiar? Well, he won PGCBL Pitcher of the Year last summer for Mohawk Valley. So, if that doesn't say anything, he's 1-0, 3 appearances already this summer, 1 save, 3 innings, 2 hits, 1 run, 1 earned run, has walked 1 and struck out 5. Outlaws runner at second, representing the last out of the top 9, Hugo Conhorst, and it's Jaden Kennedy who pops the bunt down first baseline. Bobbled a bit by Hawk as he fields on over, gets away, skirting around from third. It's actually a pinch runner. That's Carrera. He scores, and the Outlaws take a 7-6 advantage.
Now batting number 20.
So Matt Carrera, a pinch runner that pays off. That'll be the first error of the game. It'll be E5 on the DiamondDawgs. And now Thomas Woodridge Try to stay hot up here. Somebody's starting to stretch a little bit in the bullpen and left, but nobody's throwing yet. Is again charged and thrown to first. Just barely in time to get the out. Heard the hawk. So 5-3, Woodridge on the sack bunt.
7 from Wofford College, Kaz Uhara.
And now top of the lineup, Kazuhara. Outlaws really need another ball in play here from Uhara. Last time he grounded out 4-3. Kennedy looks like he wants to run down there from second, taking a massive jump in lead. 1-0. Fouled straight back over the screen, 1-1. Last thing anybody wants is to come out of here with an early tie on the record. Uhara, big open stance. 1-1. Uhara straight back. 1-2. Got a good rip on it. Just can't put it in play. Smidge too late on the swing. So we'll try it again with 2 strikes on Uhara here in Little Falls, New York on Outlaw YouTube. Uhara, and that hit him. Grazed him up and in. That's what you love to see if you're an Oneonta fan.
Fielder number 1 from Macomb Community College, Dane Richards.
Dane Richards will walk up to the plate. This is his 6th at bat of the night. How crazy is that? 10th inning. It's your 6th AB. Certainly goes to show the fight in the long innings that the Outlaws have worked tonight, but it also shows that this team has left a lot of opportunities on the base pass. 10 runners in total left on through the 9, and there's strike 1. So certainly aspects of the game to clean up moving forward, but now just content with victory, some fashion. Nothing at 1, and Richards gonna shoot it off foul, 0-2. Again, pitcher of the year, Aiden Colagrande, his 4th appearance, first one since he got the save the other night against Saugerties. His account running to 1-2. Both base runners looking like they want to run, but going to stay put. Colagrande out of the stretch position. Again, one away, top 10. This one fouled straight back. Dane Richards hanging alive. He's seeing 4. Gotta wrap this thing up quick here in Little Falls. Again, rain creeping in on the radar. Already feeling a couple of sprinkles. Again, if the rain starts to get a little hard, we are going to have to cut our YouTube stream off. Switch over and probably film the last little bit on Instagram Live. Try to give you a little feed of that, depending on how long it takes to get everything all picked up here. Well, hopefully we don't have to do that. Colagrande taking a look at both base runners. Now he's going to step off. Again, 1-2's your count. Colagrande. Bullets at home. Misses his spot, gets away. Mayer off his glove, rolled to his left. Both base runners advance 90 feet. That's a wild pitch and a big one, too. So Kennedy to third. Yohara trots to second. And now Colagrande. Creep one in there high so it runs full. Dane Richards. Colagrande again home as Richards. Slow bouncer towards third. Hurd goes home with a throw. Mayer slaps the tag on, and they get the one there. That's a 5-2. So Richards on courtesy of a fielder's choice.
49 from Wofford College, Zach Porter.
Not exactly what you want to see. And here's Zach Porter. Outlaws at least have gotten the one run. So Zach Porter now going to watch one high and away, ball one. Colagrande looking on to the base runners. And that one is swaying, 1-1. Colagrande. As Porter shoots one straight bat foul. And the Outlaws down to their last strike here, top 10. So Zach Porter continuing to fight. Both base runners in motion as he goes right through that for a strike three swinging. Again, starting to sprinkle just a teeny bit here in Mohawk Valley. We'll try to stay with you here on YouTube. Again, if it starts to get just a little bit harder, you're going to have to pack things up, switch over to IG. So stay tuned. We'll hang here as long as we can on Laws YouTube, leading 7-6, going bottom 10. Bottom of the 10th, and well, we said there was somebody starting to stretch out a little bit in the bullpen and left, but it's going to stay where it is. Logan Marquez already threw 1 2/3, going to try to go 2 2/3, get this thing done. Going to sprinkle a little bit here in Little Falls, and Marquez steps off, trying to catch the runner in a pickle. Bat, though, Justin Hurd in there safely. Justin Hurd is struck out twice, walked twice, also has singled once. Marquez with that as they were showing bunt. Jaden Kennedy on the charge trying to get in there. Jaden Kennedy. Charged it early, and actually they called it a strike. It's got some Steve Luby yelling coming from third base as the 0-1. Bunt slapped down up the first base line. Marquez charges, bumbles the ball, and it'll be runners at the corners. Slippery baseball can do that sometimes. They do call it a hit. It'll be first and third with nobody out. And now it's Brandon Hawk. We got about as much picked up of our setup as we can. Just the audio board, headset, the connector, camera left. As well as our power strip, of course. And it's Senshin running out of Mohawk Valley's very grateful shed that they gave us. Really appreciate them sparing a power outlet. Initially thought we were going off power bank tonight, but luckily didn't have to. Save that for when we go to Boonville, knock on wood. 1-0 here from Marquez. Tower and fly ball in the left field, foul ground. Over the Outlaw bus. Got a Hale Transportation bus, proud sponsor of the Outlaws, so big shout out Hale. Always making sure to get us right on the road. Got a nice comfy bus tonight. Not too many open seats though with everybody that's filed into town. Between the High Point guys coming in, Ian Wirtz, the Lehigh catcher, bus is starting to get full really quick. 1-1. And on the run, they are going to let Justin Hurd take second, so he steals the bag. And now a deep single could score two and end this thing for the DiamondDawgs in the 10th. Marquez checks behind him. 1-2. Drills Brandon Hawk on the elbow. And the bases are loaded. And it's Edwin Sanchez. It's time to swing the bat. Logan Marquez needs to put something in the zone and put something in the zone fast. It's been a very exciting, very entertaining baseball game by both these two teams. And again, so excited to see what's ahead in the season series between these two this summer. Edwin Sanchez. That one came in very close, too close for comfort as it's ball one. Ian Oslager going to be behind him. Marquez, here's your 1-0. Check the swing. Did he go? They're going to say yes. So it runs to 1-1. Again, continuing to sprinkle here in Little Falls, bottom 10. Is this one put on the ground? Right side, past the diving Woodridge in the right. Being waved around, Justin Hurd to the plate. This one's over. The DiamondDawgs walk it off in 10. Logan Marquez gets a ground ball that squeaks through the hole. And Mohawk Valley gets it done here in a game that was certainly an exciting one. One that this Outlaw team is going to want back later down the road if it comes down to one game being the difference maker, but at least we get it done and it's an official game, doesn't go in as a tie, no rain ends it early. 8-7 is your finals. We'll flash that up real quick. Outlaws. Well, I guess I forgot to change the things at the bottom, so I apologize on that. Tried to do this quick before the game. But Outlaws back in action tomorrow against Glens Falls, 7 p.m. Mohawk Valley travels to Amsterdam tomorrow, 6:45. DiamondDawgs to 3-2. Outlaws to 1-3. Thanks so much for watching here tonight on Laws YouTube. We'll see you back at Damascus tomorrow. And as always, roll Laws.